How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the New York Islanders franchise mode here in NHL 25. Moving into episode number 13, hopefully lucky number 13, for what will be the 2028 postseason here with the Islanders to finish off our fourth season here on Long Island. Sorry that there have been no uploads over the last week or so. I've been in bed sick with a fever, just was not going to be going well if I had to use my voice for anything. I was going to work, if even, coming home, lying in bed for a few hours, falling asleep, and doing it all over again. So now I made it to the weekend, feeling a lot better. I've been really excited to get this postseason going, and now here we finally are, so thank you for all of your patience in that. The season that was, 2027-28, our fourth season, saw us go 47, 30, and 5. We had it was an up and down, we'll call it that. To end off the first half of the season, I think we were 8-2 in our last 10 games. We're on pace to do about this many wins, and in the second half it felt like, although we maintained that pace, it was a lot rockier, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like a week and a half removed from recording that second half, but if I remember it correctly, it felt a lot more tumultuous. But that was honestly mostly due to the goaltending, as our scoring was great. We'll see the point totals and get reminded of those in a moment. It was really the goaltending that made it have a bit of a sour taste of, is this team really going to be able to do it in the playoffs? That being said, we did finish 6th in the NHL with 99 points, 47, 30, and 5. Very nice. 3.71 goals for per game had us fourth highest in the NHL, but with a goals for of fourth highest, we had a power play of 18.5%, which was somewhere in the middle of the league. Now, 18.5% is not a terrible power play at all, don't get me wrong, but to be as high scoring of a team as we are, and not to be 20+% in the power play, that is a bit of a concern moving into the playoffs, where we'll have to be relying on our special teams a little bit more. Goals against per game was so-so. If we sort by that, we see, again, not at the very top of the league, but at 3.13. It was high enough for us to be maybe tied over, but not content. Maybe that's the way you could put it. So let's get a little bit of a recap on the year that was points-wise. We'll see the goaltending, and you'll be reminded of what I'm talking about in just a moment. But Bo, top 50 Horvat, led by example this season. 44 goals and 91 points from Big Bo. Career highs from him. Actually put up 42 goals last season. He scores 44 this season. Playing a second-line role with first unit power play. 19 minutes of ice time per night. We love Big Bo, and he is coming through for us. So awesome to see Horvat continuing the pace, but Matty Barzal didn't quite, for example. Let's say Barzal put up 95 points last year, then this year down to 76. 76 points, still a great season, but he didn't maintain that level that Horvat did. You see what I'm saying? Also, plus minus down from plus 26 to plus 5. The plus minuses weren't great from the top line. A plus 5 for Barzal, a plus 1 for Besser. Yeah. Anyways, Evgeny Malkin, who we picked up in free agency for a veteran push, as a guy who wanted to come to Long Island in his 40s, he really delivered with 33 goals and 50 assists, 83 points. Vintage Gino going point per game plus. After scoring 65 last year in San Jose, he scores 83 this year. Getting just a little bit more ice time. Yeah, 1846, and he still gets it done at the age of 41, no less. So Evgeny Malkin, in what might be his final season, is still showing that he is hungry for a Stanley Cup. And speaking of that hunger, let's check out Vince Dunn. 8 goals and 62 assists, 70 points from the 87 overall defenseman, who previously scored 35 points last year, a complete doubling of what he did last season, from 35 to 70, a plus 36, already great, to a plus 41, but somehow still only 5 power play points, despite being the first unit distributor, the quarterback. So maybe that goes into some of the struggles that we had power play wise, but still, it's, just think about it, 65 even strength points, actually minus the shorthanded, so 62 even strength points, 3 shorthanded, 5 power play. But is that not crazy? Only 2 more power play points than shorthanded points, playing a full year as power play 1 quarterback, but I digress. Playing over 25.5 minutes of ice time per night, filling in for Noah Dobson in multiple ways, and showing us that we could absolutely survive without Dobson. 70 points from Vince Dunn, career season, blew us away, and he did that while being signed on for 3 more years of $6.25 million. Meanwhile, as many points as Quinn Hughes, 70, who's making over $17.5 million, I think. So he was tied for 4th or 3rd in league defensive scoring, and it was an incredible year from him. Patrick Laine, 28 goals and 68 points from our middle six, scorer, yeah, we'll call him that, as he kind of had to fill in a bit on the third line role. Then some injuries brought him back up to the second line. Not quite the 34 goals from last season, but he ties last year's point totals while doing so with, less ice time than he should have been getting. So Patrick Laine was a team player this season and great totals for just 16-13 of ice time. Well done to Laine. Brock Boeser finally hitting 34 goals, 30 plus I should say. 29 in his first year, 24 in his second year, and now an Islanders high in points and his highest amount of goals since 2023-24, as he scores 34 goals and 67 points to provide a lot of the goal scoring that we had been lacking here on Long Island. Speaking of lacking of goal scoring, Cole Eiserman didn't really come through either. 25 goals and just 2 on the power play. Yes, he missed some games due to injury, but in 69 games played on the year, with all of those being the first power play unit finisher, he scored just 2 power play goals and 23 even strength goals, whereas last season he scored 32, and the year before he scored 32 as well. So, honestly, it's the same pace, 32 and 82 versus 25 and 69. But I'm not sure why, because he has the 5-star shooting, the 91 and 90 accuracies. Why is Cole Eiserman not scoring more in the simulation? I guess we just need him to shoot more? Is that what it is? But that'll be something that we keep an eye on over the course of the offseason. Still, all that to say, close to a point per game season. It was a career year points-wise, point pace-wise, I suppose, 65 and 69. But Cole Eiserman just needs to score a little bit more. We're glad we're getting it from Boeser and Laine, and especially Bo Horvat. But Cole Eiserman is the future. We got to see it from him. Porter Martone, speaking of the future, in his sophomore season, scores 20 goals and 61 points, playing 17 and a half minutes of ice time per night. Really impressive from Porter Martone, who's been slotted up and down the lineup. He's played some big second line minutes as well. So well done to him, who's going to continue to be a big part of our future. Brian Rust, we got him at the trade deadline, or close to the deadline, I should say, bringing in a friend for Geno Malkin. The Penguins were sellers. We needed help on the penalty kill, and he provided that. 18 points in 31 games, being a +4 to boot. We gave him some power play time as well. He scored as many shorthanded points as power play points, while averaging 14 and a half per night. So Brian Rust has been helping us in that third line role, plus to provide some stability on the penalty kill, because we were at 76.9%, I think. At least we got up to the 80s. Again, that could be better, but it has been improving with Brian Rust, the two-way forward with 4.5-star defense, as a part of this team. Another veteran that we've brought in here on Long Island to try and get him one last Stanley Cup. He has 2 of them already. Let's see if he and Geno can get one more together. Speaking of the veterans, Kyle Palmieri at 37 years of age, 78 overall, playing 816 of ice time per night. Another 20 goals season from him. Crazy. 37 points and a +9 from the veteran, who is playing a career low in ice time. How does he do it? Kyle Palmieri. Can't forget Brock Nelson either, our captain. 33 points in 70 games from him at the age of 36. Also, he's down to an 82 overall. Rasmus Sandin, 30 points in 82 games, 3 game-winning goals, 2 power play goals. So, I don't know, maybe we'll try him on the first unit power play instead of Vince Dunn. But just to say, Rasmus Sandin providing a bit of that blue line offense, which is nice to see. Anders Lee, 28 points in 82 games from the 37-year-old, 81 overall, also playing about 7.5 minutes of ice time per night. So, for Lee, Palmieri, Nelson, all these guys, on top of Malkin and Rust, etc., there's a lot to be excited about for this postseason to try and get these guys that cup here in the 4th year of this franchise mode. David Jiricek in the first year here on Long Island for him, coming from the Blue Jackets in the Dobson swap. He did exactly what we hoped that he would do, scoring 23 points and being a +31, while averaging just 20 minutes of ice time per night, playing on the second pair as he seemed to fit there a little bit better. Still throwing over 150 hits and having over a blocked shot per night. So Jiricek, I think he could be doing even better with more ice time. It's just that Dunn and Pollock were too good of a pair to split up, but I'm sure Jiricek could see some first pair minutes next season. Dean Letourneau in his rookie season, 20 points in 82 games, our third line center of the future. Speaking of Ryan Pollock, 18 points and a +28 from him. Scott Mayfield, 12 points and an even ± in the third pair in 75 games. Same for Sam Boldzuk, playing 73 games actually, 6 points and a +2. Casey Cizikas, another veteran, 3 points in 15 games. He's still getting some reps out here. Arbor Xhekaj in 7 games as their, 7th/8th defenseman. Same for Lasky Thompson. Picked up around the deadline to try and provide some defensive stability. 16 games, -7 for the guy with 90 shot blocking, 89 stick checking. Just did not work out there, sadly. And then for goaltending, start with a long recap. Ilya Sorokin, 33-20-4 with 4 shutouts, 904 save percentage, and 2.92 goals against average. Not the numbers you really want to be seeing from a 90 overall goaltender. And a lot of comments in the last one from the AGMs were saying, let's think about trading him in the offseason. He does have the full no movement clause. Actually, ooh, interesting. Full no move clause this year, but as of July 1st, 4 more years of a 16-team no-trade list. So I'm not saying we're looking to shop Sorokin just yet. Let's wait and see what happens in the playoffs. But it would be doable, maybe not necessary, but at least doable to move Ilya Sorokin. 90 overall, we're paying him 8.25 to do what? And Fedotov, yeah, wasn't much better in relief. 896 save percentage, 3.44 goals against average. Elvis Merzlikins was third goalie, was even worse, I believe. So yeah, that's the year that was. Again, sorry for the longer than usual recap. When it's like a week plus between episodes, I want to make sure that if there's any new viewers out there, you're getting a recap of where we are in the series. And that is where we are. Now, to get this postseason started, we're facing the Columbus Blue Jackets, who went 41-30-11. They also finished their season 5-2-3 in their last 10 games, just like us. As you can see on the right side there on that column, goals for per game, we were 4th in the league. They are 19th in the league, so that's where we got to try and take advantage. But for goals against, they're 7th best. We're 12th best, so that's where they have the slight edge. Power play, we finished 11th, they finished 27th, so we have to try and make sure that they're not scoring on the power play. Penalty kill, neither of us are too great at 81.5% versus 80.2%, but again, we do have the slight edge in 18th versus 24th. And also, I would love to see just in the last 30-40 games, especially since Brian Rust came, so our penalty kill went from high 70s to getting to that low 80s of 81.5. So at least there's that to look forward to, I guess you could say. So before we get started on round 1, let's just quickly dive into the comments from the AGMs in the last one. Just a couple of thoughts on the lineup especially. Starting off with Steven, who said, "Hi Data, this time there's not much to say. The team is solid, penalty kill improved in the second half, no underperforming skaters, but the goaltending is questionable as always, and the power play should be more productive. We can shuffle the power play lines a little, and for the goaltending, we should go with Sorokin and then with Merzlikins as second if Sorokin fails to deliver. On the power play, Vince Dunn did not produce on the power play, but he was amazing 5-on-5. I would consider taking him off the first power play unit, but we tried Sandin as well, and he wasn't really any better. The only option left is to run at first unit with all forwards. I know it's crazy, and it's crazy to experiment now. We could try Malkin or even Rust, who scored the second most power play goals this season from all of our forwards. I would even consider moving them both up, and then Yzerman, who scored only 2 power play goals, should go to the second unit. Fortunately, this will all be sorted in the future years with Mr. Bulletproof Landon Dupont, who will be a lock for the first power play unit for many years to come, but as of now, not here yet, right? Right now, we either risk the changes I proposed, or we can try to do some little ones like swapping one forward between our 2 power play units. I'm not convinced we're among the strongest teams in the league right now, but with a little bit of luck, we can be serious contenders, and I am very curious how we will do. Let's go Data, let's go Isles. Thank you for those thoughts, Steven. So yes, I did go ahead and make some changes to the power play. Our units were not looking like this. This is with me doing some tinkering. Barzal was over here on the left side. Center was Horvat. The finisher was Yzerman, and Dunn was at the point. Now let's try Barzal at the dot. Horvat as the finisher, as our lead goal scorer. Laine can stay there as the right-handed shot. Rust can do some peripheral type things with Sandin at the point. And then on the second unit, we can have Gino at the dot. Yzerman as not as the finisher, but as the left-handed shot here. Besser as the finisher, as the right-handed shot. And then Martoni can stay where he's always been. And Dunn now comes to the second unit. Maybe that will help him out, just getting to play with some different faces. We can always continue to make some more changes, but that'll be how the power play rolls out to start game 1 of the postseason. Again, it wasn't horrible. It just didn't quite match up with where it should be for a team that has as much scoring power as we do. Moving over to Gavin's comment that said, "Okay, I definitely have my worries, but not a terrible year overall. The team record is good and most of our individual performances were awesome. There really weren't any forwards or defensemen who disappointed, and players like Dunn and Horvat proved to be stars. But our goaltending was straight up horrible. Those numbers would be bad in NHL 24 as well, but I think they're even worse this year considering goaltending is mostly much better in NHL 25. It's hard to justify a storyline to trade Sorokin, but something needs to change, I think. Don't be afraid to go to Merzlikins if Sorokin is disappointing. I have lost all trust in Fedotov, I think. Great episode, Data, and see you in the playoffs. Thank you for those thoughts, Gavin. Yeah, just if we need to go beyond Sorokin, is it Fedotov or is it Merzlikins? Both Gavin and Steven say Elvis. Other comments say don't touch Elvis. It's got to be Fedotov. He had some decent numbers at least last year when he was our backup, going 14-3-1. So which Fedotov will show up? Hard to say. I'm hoping to not have to go to either of them and that Sorokin can at least have some respectable performances. Going over to Pixel Nick now, who said, first the Bruins and Pelech, that was last year when we lost in 7. Now the Blue Jackets and Dobson. Our past keeps coming back to haunt us. I would say the only changes really needed heading into the playoffs is a shuffling of the power play lines, because for one of the highest scoring teams in the league, our power play needs to be at least over 20%. Other than that, the team has been solid this season, and I think that a deep run is definitely in the cards for us. Great episode, and can't wait for the next one. Go Isles. Well said, Pixel Nick. Thank you for that. And looking at one more from Kieran, who said, despite the interesting end to the season, we were so good, being around 8-2 for 2 weeks straight near the start of the episode in that second half. Yes. The Isles are an offensive wagon with very promising special teams and a good distribution of points. Pretty much the perfect mix of experience and youth for the playoffs, too. Which means I can't wait for our first round exit, of course. P.S. I would keep the goalies as Sorokin and Fedotov, says Kieran. And if we need to make any trades, leave that for the off-season. Yes, personally, I think he's had a quite good down year by EA standards, so I would keep him long-term anyways, being Sorokin. Sorry, Merzlikins, no romantic playoff run for you. Go Isles. Thank you for those thoughts, Kieran. So I think that's about that, ladies and gentlemen. The power play will be what I just showed you. 7th D will continue to be probably Jack-Eye, 8th D Thompson, 13th forward Cizikas, 3rd goalie, I don't know. Hopefully I don't even need to think about second or third goalie. And these will be our 5-on-5 lines. Cole Eiserman needs to come through. Last postseason in his rookie postseason. If I keep going to the wrong place again. He had no goals in the 6 games we played last year. 2 assists, -2. So Cole Eiserman has yet to score a postseason goal in his NHL career. Let's see what he can do this year. Now he's an 89 overall, but his leash is not super long if it comes to goal scoring, that is. If you can produce the points or whatever, don't worry about it. But I'm talking about if we are lacking goal scoring and he is not providing it, I'd rather have Martone getting more ice time, Malkin getting more ice time, even Rust, even Palmieri getting more ice time if need be. So that'll be that. And on defense, of course, we continue to run Dunn, Pollock, Jiricek, Sandin, Boldzuk, Mayfield. And I think that's about it. Let's get this first round started, facing off against the Columbus Blue Jackets. We know them very well. Jiricek against his old team, and we have Dobson and Cyplakov against their old team. Coming out of the Columbus Blue Jackets, they didn't have the flashiest team overall-wise, but they get it done. Lindstrom, Johnson, and Kempe, 88, 88, 89 on their first line. Second line, this prospect, Thomas Schulz, who is the first overall pick in 2026. He's with Fantilli and Data 782 Hall of Famer Jonathan Drouin. On the third line, Cyplakov, Monahan, and Marchenko. In this universe, not as great as how he's doing right now in the real world. And fourth line, Brindley, Kampf, and Voronkov. So the entire lineup between 82 and 89 overall from first to fourth line. On defense, Werenski and Dobson with that first pair, 90 and 91. Noah Dobson scored 58 points, was a plus 16 in his first year here with Columbus, alongside Zach Werenski at a 90 overall, who scored 56 points and was a plus 15 himself. Second pair, Matejchuk and Severson. Third pair, Timmins and Rayon Mullen. So a full core between 81 and 91 from first pair to third pair. Then goaltending is Thatcher Demko at an 88 overall, backed up by Danil Tarasov. Demko this year went 30, 26, and 11 with 3 shutouts, 906 save percentage, and 3.02 goals against average. Terrible numbers the year before that. Had he made the playoffs that season? No, they hadn't yet in Columbus. So Demko's first postseason appearance as a Blue Jacket. And the scratches, Cole Sillinger, Yanni Gourde, and Jordan Harris. Whew, yeah, it's a good team. They're not the craziest offensive team, but they seem to all come together. Like, even though Lindstrom is a 51-point first liner, Kent Johnson scored 68, and then you also have Adrian Kempe, who scored 54. So it's really weird. You think, okay, there's no offense at all, but I don't know. Drouin scored 46, Fantilli 61, Thomas Schulz, 44-point rookie season. I don't know where the offense is really coming from. It's just a well-rounded team that's doing just enough offensively and really doing enough defensively, with both guys in their top pair scoring over 50 points to, I suppose, buoy all of the maybe lack of offense from the forwards. But I digress. That's my little breakdown on the team that is. As we're facing the Columbus Blue Jackets here in this first round, we are yet to win a playoff matchup in this franchise mode so far. As we missed the postseason in years 1 and 2, then fell in Game 7 of Round 1 last year in Year 3, as we were 2 50-plus win teams in that matchup against the Bruins. And now here in Year 4, we finally have the edge as a 47-win team taking on the Blue Jackets in Round 1 at UBS Arena. It all starts here. The final run for a lot of these veterans, the reason we came to this team, the mandate we received here for the New York Islanders to get this core a cup. We have 50% of those players from day 1, Year 1 here at the end of Year 4. Can we do it for them? Starting off on the power play. How about this? We just fixed the power play. Let's start it off with a bang in front of the home fans, and we do! Bo Horvat as the finisher on that first unit. Let's go! 1-0 early, but Lindstrom ties it soon after. First period ends 2-1 Blue Jackets as Brindley, the fourth liner, adds another. Shots 14-12 after 20, and we're down 2-1. Make that 3-1 as Schull scores his first career playoff goal 40 seconds into the period. Oh boy, let's go now. Come on, we're getting enough shots-ish. Hold on, power play again now. This is what, like our third power play? Squandered. Power play Blue Jackets, killed off at least. 5 minutes left in the second period. A goal to shift momentum and go a very long way. We didn't get a lot going in the second period. Getting a lot of shots in the final couple minutes, but not enough to get anything past Thatcher Demko, as we are being outshot 23-22 and outscored 3-1 here in the through the first 2 periods of this first game at home. Let's go. Bo Horvat scores a power play goal. Matejchuk makes it 4-1. We have 1 power play goal from Bo, and that's it. 0 even strength scoring. Exactly what I'm talking about. Anders Lee, the fourth line's going to come through for us. That cuts the lead to 2. We're still in this with 8 minutes to go. Outshooting the Blue Jackets 33-29. Down to the last 5 minutes now. And that'll be it, as we get 1 goal in the power play and 1 goal from the fourth line at even strength to lose 4-2. At home, no less. Great. Demko makes 34 saves. And we are quickly down 1-0 in this series. Yeah. Sorokin wasn't horrible. That was the scoring that didn't come through in that one. My goodness, come on. I'm already ready to take Cole Eiserman off that first line. I'm already ready. You know what? I'm doing it. For a 25-goal season, I'm already doing it. The leash was that short. And when it comes to how desperate we are right now here on Long Island, Malkin's moving up with Barzal and Besser. Eiserman will play with Horvat and Laine, giving them the +5 as well. Why not? Little change in the top 6. I'm not demoting him to the fourth line or anything. I'm just making a little change there in the top 6 because you can't score 1 even-strength goal and 0 from the top 9 in that in an entire playoff game. Let's go. To tie the series at 1, it's Game 2, still with home ice advantage, headed to Columbus for Game 3. We can't be down 0-2. We cannot drop both at home. Let's go, veterans. Let's go, rookies. Let's get it all together and fight as one. First period, 3-1 for the Islanders, as Comp scores a shorthanded goal to open it up. Amazing. But then Bo Horvat on the power play, second in as many games. Rasmus Sandin on the power play. Thank you to that first power play unit. And Bo Horvat again. 3 goals in 2 games, 2 goals in like 8 minutes, and we lead 3-1 thanks to Big Bo. Shots 14-6 through 20. Second period 3-2 as Fantilli scores on the power play. We're outshooting them 23-18, but we only lead by 1. Power play Blue Jackets to start the third period. It's David Jiricek scoring, but not shorthanded, not sure why. Then Seiflikov answers back to the power play goal to make it a 1-goal game again, scoring in his former home arena. Halfway through the third period, it's a 1-goal lead. We cannot let this go. We got to add to it. Thank you, David Jiricek, first career playoff goal, doing against his old team as well, as an Islander, I should say. Final 90 seconds, and Cole Eiserman on the second line adds the empty netter. Woo-hoo. Thank you very much, as shots end 33-26, and we win 5-3. 3 on 26 past Sorokin. Come on, man. Horvat, though, 2 goals and 2 assists from Big Bo. Eiserman a goal and an assist. Sandin a goal and an assist. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better, as we win 5-3 to tie the series up at 1 and make it a best of 5 headed to Columbus now. Okay, down in the AHL, what's up here as the season is over? We made the postseason going 43-26-3. That's nice. Very good. Can I see anything here? Not too much, eh? Our Curie was the lead point scorer with 58 points. Okay, that's nice, as we're going to play the Blues AHL team down in Springfield. Here we go. Let's keep it rolling at Nationwide Arena in Columbus for Game 3. Winner of this game takes a 2-1 lead to Game 4. And that is, if you could win both games, I'm trying to say 3 and 4, that goes a very long way to pretty much punching your ticket to round 2. First period here in Columbus, and it's a 0-0 game after 20 shots, 11-6 in our favor. Let's go. I'm looking at Line A. I'm looking at Besser. Let's go. Second period now, 1-1. Damon Severson opens up the scoring in this one. Bo Horvat ties it late, though, with 2:19 to go in the second period. Thank you. As Brock Besser answers the call. Thank you. Shots 24-16 in our favor through 40 minutes. It's anyone's game here in the third. Next goal may as well be the winner with the way the scoring's been going in this series, and especially in this game. No scoring through the first half of this period even, but it's Matty Barzal with his first, making it 2-1, and Brock Besser makes it 3-1 with his second of this game. Is that enough as Seifulkov scores soon after his second goal in as many games? 3-2 with 5 to go. Patrick Laine, thank you very much, with his first. 4-2 Isles as we're getting close to having to double their shots, ending 39-26, but coming away with the 4-2 victory. Big third period. Besser scores 2 goals and an assist, Barzal a goal and 2 assists, and Ilya Sorokin makes 24 saves as we win 4-2 to thankfully take a 2-1 series lead. Now, here's why, does it even matter? Lose this game is back to a best of 3. Don't squander that victory. We've won back-to-back. You gotta win this one in Columbus. Just shatter their hopes and have a chance to end it back at home. And if not, then have a chance to end it in Game 6. A 3-1 lead is exactly what we need right here, right now. Let's keep it rolling at Nationwide Arena for Game 4 of this first round matchup with a 2-1 series lead. Here we go. First period, it's 1-1 after 20 as Adrian Kempe scores a power play goal, but then Cole Eiserman scores his first non-empty net playoff goal of his career, making it 1-1. Thank you, Cole Eiserman, with his second of the series, and his first, like I just said, not on an empty net. 2-1, Bo Horvat gets scoring going early in the second period with another power play goal. Not only is he scoring, but he is continuing to be that consistent finisher on that first power play unit, which I'm loving to see. But not long after, Kent Johnson scores in the power play himself. Period ends 3-2, though, as Evgeny Malkin scores his first career postseason goal as an Islander. He has probably, 150 as a Penguin, but his first as an Isle. Shots 22-19 for the Blue Jackets, but we lead by 1 here in the third period. Can we take a commanding 3-1 series lead back to Long Island? Power play Islanders, this could do it. That's killed off by the Blue Jackets. Momentum back in their favor, but we're now leading in the shots. 29-26, power play Columbus, killed off, big penalty kill with 5 minutes to go now here at Nationwide Arena. Can we hang on with the Gino winner? Final minute, and we do! Shots end 32-31, but we hang on tight. Let's go, Ilya Sorokin, who gets second star honors. A goal and an assist from Bo Horvat to make him first star. Sorokin makes 30 saves for the second, and Evgeny Gino Malkin with a vintage performance, getting himself the game-winning goal to put us up 3-1. Whew, after losing Game 1. Wow. We now have the chance for the gentleman's sweep, losing 1 and then winning 4 in a row. Whew, can we do it here at home at UBS Arena? We lost Game 1 and then won Game 2 when we had home ice. Can we close it out here and make it a nice and quick round 1 matchup? I have barely taken a breath this entire series. Game 5, round 1 here on Long Island to win our first postseason series, and I'd have to look it up. And our first of this entire franchise mode series, 13 episodes later, can we win our first postseason matchup? First period, 3-2 Isles. Whoa. Line on the power play. Barzal on the power play. If you look at the power play goals coming through, 2-0 Isles. But then Scholes and Fantilli tied at 2. Then Gino Malkin with 38 seconds left in the period. That's great going into the locker room. Shots 16-12 through 20, and we lead by 1. Second period now, 4-3. A goal apiece as Besser makes it 4-2. But then about 6 or 5.5 minutes later, Marchenko makes it 4-3. Shots are 7-23 in our favor, and we have a 1-goal lead here at home to close it out and punch our ticket. But no, Zach Werenski says we're not done yet. It's a 4-4 game. Dobson yet to score, but Werenski gets one. Halfway through this third period, power play Isles, 5-on-3, that could be it. No, huge penalty kill from the Blue Jackets. And Kampf, no, with momentum back in their favor. 90 seconds, can anyone tie it? As we choke a 4-3, even a 4-2 lead. We choke a 4-2 lead and lose 5-4 as Werenski and Kampf score in the third period. We outshoot them 37-32, but Sorokin allows 5 goals on 32 shots. And this is now a 3-2 series. Despite a goal and 3 assists from Barzal, first star. Besser, a goal and an assist, second star. Werenski, a goal and an assist, third star, including that game. And sorry, no, Kampf had the game winner. He had the game tire. Julien Gauthier, next strain. Head coach can replace down in the AHL. So it won't be a gentleman's sweep. But we will head back to Columbus, where we've had a lot of success at Nationwide Arena for a Game 6 date, trying to close it out here. I don't want to see another Game 7 in round 1, please. I do not want to see another one of those. Our power play has been crazy. Look at that on the right, 46.2%. We're almost scoring half of all power play opportunities. Crazy. Okay, deep breaths here. Do we make any changes, I wonder? So through 5 games, do we make any changes here? Let me just get a quick little refresh. 5 points, 9 points from Barzal, 4 points from Cole Eiserman, Bo Horvat with 8, Line 2 goals, Rust 5 assists, -1, Nelson with 0s, Porter Martone with 0s as well. Last postseason, remember what he did last postseason? 7 games, 3 goals. Yeah, I think that those came. Could it be that 2 came in Game 7? I forget exactly, but 3 points in 7 games. Right now he has 0 points in 5 games. Career 3 goals and 3 points in 12 games. Come on, Porter. Palmieri, nothing, -2. Letourneau, Anders Lee. And, whoa, by the way, I didn't even notice this. Sorry. Martone up to an 88 overall. Whoa. From an 86 to an 88 over the course of these 3 playoff games. Whoa. What do we do here with this bottom 6, I wonder? How about defense? What's up here? Dunn, 0 points, -1. Of course, that makes perfect sense. Pollock, no points, -2. Sandin, 5 points, +2. Jiricek, 1 goal, 1 assist, +4. So you know what? Let's bump Jiricek up to play with Dunn, and let's bring Pollock down with Sandin and see what happens there. I'm sure most, if not all, of Sandin's points are on the power play. Sorokin, 891 save percentage, 3.23 goals against average. Awesome. So yeah, we're definitely being kept alive. We are winning pretty much solely due to the power play. If it wasn't for that, I don't know where we'd be right now. Do we make a change in the bottom 6, though? That is the question. Do we go crazy? Lee, Letourneau, and Rust on the 4th line. Martone, Nelson, Palmieri on the 3rd. I think that's going to be what I do. Just I don't know if that's crazy, but just a little bottom 6 mix-up. All right? Game 6 at Nationwide Arena. Again, I've barely taken a breath this entire first round. Let's try to end it here. Let's end it right here, right now in Columbus and head back to Long Island as champions, getting ready for our round 2 matchup. Here we go. First period, it's 1-0 Patrick Laine with an even strength goal to put us up 1-0 through 20. Second period, Pollock scores early on that second pair. Let's go. And that ends 4-0. Besser on the power play. Barzal even strength. And we have a 4-0 lead. We squandered a 4-2 lead. Let's not squander a 4-0 lead. We're being outshot 24-23, but we lead by 4 here in the third period. The Blue Jackets on home ice being embarrassed through 40 minutes. Are they going to show up in the third period? Let's hope they don't. Let's find our way to the second round, please. More than halfway through this period, I think we can say we've put this one to bed. Ladies and gentlemen, your New York Islanders are through in 6 games with a 4-0 victory against the Blue Jackets in this 6th game of round 1. A 37-save shutout from Ilya Sorokin, as we were not impressed with him. Thank you, Ilya. 3 assists from Cole Eiserman, a goal and an assist from Brock Besser. And we take Game 6 by a score of 4-0 to punch our ticket through, of course, Vince Dunn, injured foot. Head coach replaced for just a moment. Not out for long, thankfully. We are through for the first time in this franchise mode series, first time in NHL 25 even. We are through to the second round. Checking out the scoring now through that first round and in those 6 games, Matty Barzal, who we were just talking about as being someone who was a bit lackluster, I suppose, this season, just in comparison to last season. He shows up in a big way, scoring 3 goals and 10 points through those 6 games. Bo Horvat with 4 goals and 9 points. Besser, Yzerman, and Malkin all with 7. Laine also there with 6. That gives us 6 point per game plus players in that first round. And Besser and Horvat lead the way with 4 goals apiece when it comes to the goal scoring. Very well done. Rasmus Sandin, 5 points plus 4 in 6 games, and 3 points in the power play, so 2 points even strength from Rasmus Sandin. Brian Rust, 5 assists and a -1. All right. Jiricek, 2 points plus 5. Pollock, 1 goal, even plus minus. Lee, 1 goal. Mayfield, 1 assist. Boldzuk, 1 assist, -1. Letourneau, 1 assist, -1. Martone, no points, -1. 6 games played, 0 points and a -1. Come on, Porter. That's crazy. That's crazy, especially from Vince Dunn. Martone and Dunn combined for what? Dunn had 70 on the dot, and Martone had 70 as well. So they combined for 140 points, and they got a combined 0 through 6 games. Come on, both -1s. Vince Dunn also now injured, so hopefully he wakes up a little bit. Brock Nelson, 0 points as well from him, and a -1. Palmieri, 0 points, -2. So really the bottom 6 doing nothing, and even the even strength was so-so. Well, the top 6, I should say, was so-so at even strength in the first half of the series. It was really the power play carrying us at the beginning, but the even strength scoring came through towards the end. Sorokin went 4-2 with a shutout, 913 save percentage, and 2.69 goals against average to carry us through. And of course, we got to check out the Noah Dobson numbers as we finally get to beat one of our ghosts. If we scroll down, Saplikov had 2 goals and 3 points in 6 games, but Noah Dobson, no goals, 3 assists, even plus minus, playing 24-18 per night. All right, bye-bye, Noah Dobson. We'll see you next year. As we win our first round of the NHL postseason since 2021, 7 years later, we finally win a round. Whew. Looks like all those series in the East are done. Yeah, so who will we be facing in round 2? Hopefully the ones in the West go a little bit longer because we want to see Vince Dunn get more rest. But in round number 2, we will be facing the New Jersey Devils Metropolitan matchup. Wow, that's going to be a big one. The Islanders and the Devils facing off in round 2. Is Dunn going to be fully healthy? Not yet. So he's back on the 5th, so he likely misses both games at home, if I remember that date correctly, and he'll join us on the road in New Jersey for Game 3. All right. So let's check out the Devils lineup. As I think I saw that they beat, could it be the Hurricanes in 6 games? The Devils, Jesper Bratt at a 90 overall, 4 points in 6 games and 86 on the season. Jack Hughes, 94 overall, 4 assists in 6 games, no goals, but 86 points in the season as well. And Timo Meier, 87 overall, 4 points in 6 games and 75 on the season. That's their first line, and it's a crazy one. 90, 94, 87. Second line, Zacha, he's back, found his way back to New Jersey. Pavel Zacha, all right. Nico Hischier at an 89, and Dawson Mercer at an 87. Third line, Turchenko, Lawton, Perron, and fourth line, Drew O'Connor with Christian Dvorak and Stefan Nason. Defensively, they have Luke Hughes and Brett Pesce as their top pair, Simon Nemec and Jonas Siegenthaler on their second pair, and Wieland with Seamus Casey on the third pair. So well-rounded overall-wise throughout their forwards and their defense. Goaltending, it's 82 overall, Jacob Markstrom. We'll call him Jacob Markstrom. 32, 27, and 5 on the season, 905 save percentage, 3.14 goals against average. And through that first round matchup, despite getting the 4 wins, had an 892 save percentage and 3.68 goals against average. All right, backed up by Laurent Brossoit. Scratches, Dougie Hamilton. So why is he a healthy scratch? Can't be. 86 overall, Dougie Hamilton. With Johansson and Burrows. Hold on. This must be some sort of maybe just got healed right now. It must be. It must be. So we have to account that Dougie Hamilton is a part of that defensive core. So that's a lot of high overalls in that top 4. If Siegenthaler gets bumped down to the third pair, you would think. Luke Hughes, 3 goals, 4 points in that first round matchup. Brett Pesce even had 4 points as well. Okay. But yeah, it's a bit weaker in the bottom 6 for sure. That's a strong top 6. That's a really strong top 4. It's the bottom 6. It's the third, not even the third pair D. It's the bottom 6 and it's the goaltending for the Devils. We're going to be hoping to take advantage of them. All right, so let's get this matchup started. As you can see on the right, the Devils are scoring about a third more of a goal per game, but we're allowing 1 goal less per game at 2.67 versus 3.67. Our power play also better at 38.9%. That's been ridiculous. Our penalty kills, though, are even, both not great. 75 for the Devils, 76.5 for us. So hopefully our power play can take advantage of their penalty kill. And by the way, I almost forgot. Good thing I didn't. Vince Dunn, we said replace him in all lines with whoever got put in there. So Yeah, Lassie Thompson cannot play there. So Sandin will play with Pollock. I suppose Boldzuk with... Sorry, Sandin with Jiricek, Boldzuk with Pollock, and we'll be bringing in, actually, Arbor Jacki to be playing with Scott Mayfield. And we just make a few other changes here. Okay, and there we go. All right, so let's get this matchup started. We'll keep the bottom six as it was as well until further notice. And let's get it started. Game 1 at home at UBS Arena facing the 43-33-6 New Jersey Devils. Game 1, round 2. First time we've been here since 2021. 7 years later, the second round for the Islanders. Let's do it. First period, 0-0 after 20. Shots tied at 12. Second period now, 2-0 Devils. Jack Hughes on the power play. Then Brett Pesce somehow has 3 goals and 5 points in 7 games now, as we're being outshot 24-23, but we're down by 2 after 40. Thank you, Patrick Laine, for getting us back into this 1-goal game. We're leading in the shots. Momentum back in our favor. Let's go. Power play opportunity as well. Killed off by the Devils somehow, some way. Shots are 35-28 for the Isles, and we're down by 1 with 5 minutes to go. Could we get a late hero from the top 6? Maybe a little Rasmus Sandin with the increased ice time? No, the Devils hang on for the 2-1 victory, despite being outshot 39-30. Markstrom and the Devils hang on for the win. First star going to Markstrom. Sorokin second star at 28 saves. And Pesce with that goal getting the game winner. Third star, of course. Okay, I wonder, would Dunn be back for the 4th? It said the 5th, I believe. No, so he won't be back. I don't want to risk a playable injury, so we're going to keep everything as it's been. I don't know, unless we do something in that bottom 6. I don't think the bottom 6 was the difference maker in that game, but I wonder if we continue mixing things around. Palmieri's done nothing. So 7 games, -3. What if Lee gets a chance now to be the one who comes up? And we go Palmieri, Letourneau, Rust? Maybe. Let's try that. But Martone, you're killing me, buddy. 7 games, no points, -2. You are not making a good case for yourself. Okay, so we'll keep the rest as is. And roll into Game 2 after a tight 2-1 loss. We lost Game 1 of Round 1. So here we go for Game 2. Let's make it a best-of-5, headed back to New Jersey. And let's win this one on home ice to tie this series up. First period, and it's 2-1 Devils after 20. Of course, all with even strength goals. Nico Hischier on the shorthanded opportunity, and then Pavel Zacha on the power play opportunity. Before Arbor Jacki, our 7th defenseman, thank you very much. Maybe that's his first career playoff goal as well. Cuts the lead to 1. Shots 12-10 New Jersey after 20. We're down 2-1 after allowing shorthanded and power play goals. Second period, 3-2, we take the lead. Rasmus Sandin with those first pair of minutes ties it up, and then Cole Eiserman not long after. We now lead by 1, being outshot 22-19, 3-2 Isles after 40. Let's go, boys. We need this one. Let's go. 5 minutes into the third, nothing yet. I'd love to see a little insurance marker. 1 or 2 wouldn't hurt. Halfway through this third period, nothing coming yet as Markstrom stands tall. Power play opportunity here, killed off by the Devils, but David Jiricek, let's go, makes it 4-2. He continues to get some goals. I love that. David Jiricek makes it 4-2, and that'll be all she wrote. Shots end 32-27, and we tie this series up at 1. Thank you very much. Goal and assist for Jiricek, first star. Eiserman, second star with a goal, and Besser, third star with 2 assists. 4-2 Islanders to tie the series at 1, make it a best-of-5, and that should be enough to see Vince Dunn on the road trip. Bridgeport, okay. We should be able to meet up with him at Prudential Center. Yes, we will. Lovely. So we'll get Dunn back in the lineup. Thank you, Arbor Jacki. As great as you were, I don't think we can keep you in there. I don't know. Unless, like, maybe Boldzuk came out. Jacki, 2 games, 1 goal, +1. Boldzuk, 8 games. And yeah, I don't think we can pull out Boldzuk or Mayfield. Probably not. But thank you, Arbor, and we know you're the guy that we're going to go to if need be. So let's fix the lineup back up. And you know what? I think I'm going to keep David Jiricek on the second power play unit because he has, what, like 5 points I think I just saw? Well, let me go back to even strength and look at defense. David Jiricek has 5 points and a +7 in 8 games, while Vince Dunn has 0 points and a -1 in 6 games. So I think Vince Dunn can keep doing everything he's been doing, but let's give the power play, at least the second unit of the power play, to David Jiricek. Meanwhile, Rasmus Sandin also has 6 points in 8 games. Sheesh, in the on the playoffs last year, 7 points in 7 games. So as an Islander, Rasmus Sandin has 13 points in 15 games. That's crazy. 4 goals and 9 assists for Rasmus Sandin in 15 postseason games as an Islander. Maybe we'll get him back on the top pair. I don't know. But at least for now, Vince Dunn with his 70-point season has earned a bit more of a leash to say, let's get you back in the first pair. He's playing with Jiricek as well, and let's see what that does for him. All right, so now on the road at Prudential Center for Game 3. It's a 1-1 series between the Islanders and the Devils. Let's keep it rolling. First period on the road, 1-1 after 20. Matty Barzal opens it up. I haven't seen him in a little while. Thank you very much. Before Simon Nemec on the power play. The pony kill is not doing it right now. Second period. 6-2 Islanders. I forgive you one and all. I forgive you one and all. Porter Martone scores his first career playoff goal. Thank you for waking up. Patrick Laine gets another right there to make it, 3-1? Yeah, so make it 3-1. Scott Laughton makes it 3-2, but then, boom, Rust Palmieri. 3 goals from the bottom 6 over the course of, over the span of 4 minutes. Rust scoring twice, and then Palmieri with one soon after. 6-2 Islanders. This is the Jacob Markstrom that we had to break through. Oh my goodness, with a 5-goal period. Brian Rust scoring his first 2 postseason goals as an Islander. Let's just call it right there, save some time. 8-3. Porter Martone with the postseason hat trick. Zacha on the power play, then Martone scores twice. Shots end 44-27. And after scoring 0 goals in his first, I want to say, 13 postseason games, he scores a hat trick here in game 3 of round 2. Shots end 44-27, and we win 8-3. Wow. Martone hat-trick gets him the first star. Rust 2 goals and an assist. Palmieri a goal and 2 assists. The bottom 6 comes through in a big way. That 5-goal second period as well. Whew, and we will take a 2-1 series lead as we embarrass the Devils at Prudential Center. But they won't take that lightly. No, they will not. As we can see here, the pony kill is getting worse on the right, 74.2%, and the Devils' pony kill is getting stronger. Our power play is coming down from 38 point whatever to now 23.3. Come on, power play. Come on, and special teams in general. Come on now. Let's keep it going. I love just letting everything keep rolling when there's no reason to stop. I'm not going to stop. Let's go. For Game 4 here at Prudential Center, let's do the same that we did in Round 1. First period, 0-0 after 20 shots, 16-7 for the Isles. Second period, 1-1 game as Bo Horvat scored early, and actually Timo Meier did as well. 2 goals within the first minute, and then no scoring after that. Bo and Timo scoring the goals. Shots 27-22 through 40. Winner of this period has a big moment. Is going to do big. I'm trying to speak, Timo Meier. Whoever scores next is doing a big thing for their team, because either the Devils are going to tie this series or we are going to go up 3-1. But now halfway through the third, we're down 2-1. We need a goal. We scored 8 goals last game, and now we score 1. Come on, with 4 minutes left, we need someone to do something with a minute to go. No, of course not. 8 goals last game, 1 goal this game. Shots end 41-33. Timo Meier scores both goals for the Devils. And of course, Markstrom makes 40 saves. As Sorokin makes 31, but they're not enough. And we will drop this one by a score of 2-1. And the joy of an 8-3 victory very quickly dissipates as we now have a 2-2 series and a best of 3 here with this New Jersey Devils team in the second round. Boy, oh boy. I just want to see Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn, 1 assist and a +3 through 8 games. Yeah, definitely not quite the 70-point season he had showed in 10 penalty minutes as well. Sam Bolduc has 2 assists and a +2, playing 17-48 with 4 penalty minutes, and Dunn playing 19-11 has 10 penalty minutes in 8 games with 1 assist and has a +3. I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there that Dunn isn't quite himself. Now the question is, does Sandin overtake Dunn for the top pair minutes just for the 5-on-5? I don't know if I'm there just yet, but the lack of the 5-on-5 scoring doesn't really help, and Sandin's been scoring. And you know what? I might make just one more small change in the bottom 6. Let's reunite the power of friendship line. And I had noticed that Dean Letourneau has 3 assists and is a +2. So let's bring up Letourneau to play third line center. And let's bring up Russ to play with Martone and Letourneau as well. So Martone, Letourneau, and Russ on the third line. Palmieri, Nelson, and Lee on the fourth line. Goal and assist. Yeah, so all 3 of these guys on the fourth line combined for 5 points and an even +-. So let's try the power of friendship line together with Russ, Letourneau, Martone on the third line getting the +1. All right, top 6 stays the same, and we'll probably make a Sandin Dunn swap if things don't go well in this game. At UBS Arena, it's a 2-2 series. In the other series in the East, it's also a 2-2 series between the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs. All right, so let's do it here. Home ice advantage. It's now a best of 3 here in Game 5 for Games 5, 6, and maybe 7. Let's do it. First period, 1-1 after 20. Luke Hughes opens it early, 1 minute and 9 seconds in. Then Vince Dunn, there he is. It's a shorthanded goal, no less. And we now have this game tied at 1 after 20. Second period, 2-1 Devils. Simon Nemec, no power play goal. Shots are 23-19 for the Devils, and we have scored 2 goals in the last, 5 periods? Ridiculous. Come on now. Where is the scoring? After we score 8 goals, we follow up an 8-goal game by scoring 2 goals in the next 2 games. We have a 5-goal period, but then we can score 2 in the next 5 periods. Thank you, Cole Yzerman. Power play goals, getting ready for 6 and 7. Hold on, we're not done yet. 2-2 game, 3:45. Next one's the winner. Final 48 seconds. We're off to overtime. Shots are 34-28 for the Devils. Now, here's the new thing I'm going to be doing moving forward. The gameplay, the real-time gameplay. The AI gameplay, whatever you want to call it, is just way too ugly to go in more than we have to watch. So I'm going to do the same method that I do in the live stream series, where we'll only go in to watch, as painful as that will be and as risky as that is. We'll only go in for series-clinching games. It's a 2-2 series. It's a 2-2 game. We're just going to go ahead and let this one run, all right? Overtime, next player to score will put his team up 3-2 in the series, and it's the Devils who win. Dawson Mercer, no! As the Devils outshoot us 37-28 and take the 3-2 victory in the game to give themselves the 3-2 lead in the series. Dawson Mercer, game winner, as the Devils look great. Again, after we score 8 goals, we followed up by scoring 3 goals in 6 periods, plus overtime. 6 periods and a bit. We scored 2 goals after scoring, 3 goals in total, after scoring 8 goals in that game. And now we find ourselves having to win both Games 6 and Game 7 if we're to advance to the Eastern Conference Final. On the road at the Prudential Center now to face the Devils in a win-or-go-home Game 6 of the second round, as the scoring continues to be non-existent. 2 goals from Evgeny Malkin, who scored again, how many? 33 goals on the year, 2 goals in 11 games. Barzal slowed down, Besser is doing okay, Yzerman, Horvat slowed down his scoring as well, and it's time to get a little bit desperate, probably. It's time to get a little bit desperate. So I'm going to say let's have the forwards look like this. And there we go. Besser, Horvat, Barzal on the first line. Laine, Malkin, Rust on the second. Let's get the 2 pens together. Third line, Martone, Letourneau, and Cole Yzerman. And then the fourth line will keep with the power of friendship line. Honestly, I would take out Brock Nelson, but it's hard to scratch the captain. He has nothing going for himself. -2, 4 penalty minutes, and 11 games played. The captain's got to wake up. Come on. I'd want to bring in Casey Cizikas, but I don't really see that doing anything better than Lee or Palmieri or Nelson. So we're going to keep the fourth line as it is with some changes in the top 9. On defense, I'm swapping Sandin and Dunn. And goaltending, of course, continues to be Ilya Sorokin, as we need to win back-to-back games. In round 1, we won 4 in a row. We can do it. All we got to do here is win back-to-back games against the Devils. How are the percentages looking? Power play drops at now at 22.2 and penalty kill at 75.7. Yeah, the penalty kill has really not been great either. But again, it's like we have no other options. We have only so many centermen. We have only so many wingers who are not Patrick Laine and Cole Yzerman. And who are not dying of 2-star skating with Lee and Nelson and Palmieri. We can only do so much with the cards that we have. This is the team that we have, and they have to show it now. We've tried all the mixing and matching. It all comes down to them. 2 games to go. We can still push our way through to the Eastern Conference Final. We got to win back-to-back, and it starts here at the Prudential Center after losing back-to-back post the 8-goal victory. Here we go on the road for Game 6 of Round 2, a must-win to push it to 7. The line's been fixed up, possibly the last game for many Islanders here. Let's go, leave it all out on the ice. First period, 0-0 shot, 16-7 for the Devils. Second period, 1-0. All right, it's Patrick Laine, thank you, playing on that second line left wing. Patrick Laine puts us up 1-0. Shots 24-23 for the Devils. We are 20 minutes away from forcing Game 7. Power play, Bo Horvat. Power play goal for Big Bo. 2-0 Islanders now with 15 minutes to go. Are we going to be able to force 7 with a 2-goal lead, or do we need more? Power play Devils killed off, big kill. Power play Devils again. 2 big kills in the second half of the third period to force our way to 7. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 34-save shutout on the road, no less, from Ilya Sorokin to capture first star honors, and Patrick Laine scores the game winner, a goal and an assist from him. Huge 2-0 victory, as the goal scoring once again is nothing special, scoring only 2 goals, yet we push our way to 7 with a huge shutout from Sorokin, a guy who's heard his name in the rumors and he wants to be here next season, win or lose in 7. And now we have a date with destiny at UBS Arena. Win, and we're through to the Eastern Conference Final for the first time since the year 2020, 8 years later. Lose, and we go home as saying, yes, we won round 1, and yes, we got it to game 7 of round 2, but we fell short in our goal to get the Stanley Cup for Palmieri and Lee and Nelson and Mayfield and blah, blah, blah. Now the question is, did we see enough from those line changes? Bo Horvat's scoring was great, but that was a power play goal. Laine scored at even strength. No even strength goals from the first or third line. I don't know, plus minuses in the fourth line or nothing special. Am I just belaboring something that cannot be changed? This is the team that we're rolling with. Can I really say, like, Nelson Letourneau swap maybe? Perhaps, but can I have zeros from Nelson and zeros from Martone on the same line? Martone, minus his random hat-trick night, has 1 assist in 11 other games. So part of Martone there's going to be huge questions to be answered by him in the postseason media availability, or whatever you want to call it. But this is going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Game 7 of Round 2. Win, and we're through to the Eastern Conference Final, and we're into the Final 4 as we continue to try and chase that Stanley Cup for this squad. Lose, and it's the end of our 4th season, and we get ready to consider our plan for year number 5. Sit back and relax. Game 7, Round 2, here we go. Ryan Pulock scores early. Thank you. The first shot of the night, 19 seconds in from one of our veterans. Ryan Pulock puts us up 1-0 over the Devils. 40 minutes to go. Come on, boys. You know you want that Eastern Conference Final. Second period. Yes, 4-1. Yes, from the veterans, no less. Scott Mayfield, then Brock Besser, then Anders Lee, before Seamus Casey gets the lone goal for the Devils, giving them a little bit of momentum, scoring with 13 seconds left in the second period to give them a little bit of life headed into the locker room. Shots are 24-23 for the Islanders. We're outshooting them by 1 and outscoring them by 3. I am not comfortable enough in this lead just yet. I love seeing goals from Lee and Mayfield, but let's see some, Brock Nelson, Porter Martone, Evgeny Malkin out here. Third period action, and just like that, it's Timo Meier making it 4-2. Power play Devils, don't you dare. Let's kill that off. Power play Isles, it's Cole Yzerman, power play goal, restoring the 3-goal lead. Here at home in front of the fans, UBS Arena is on its feet with 6 minutes to go. Power play to put it to bed, no, killed off. Final 3 minutes, but that'll be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Islanders have a big comeback in round 2 to eliminate the Devils in 7 and push their way through to the Eastern Conference Final for the first time this franchise mode, and for the first time since the year 2020. 8 years later, the Islanders are into the Final 4. As Besser scores a goal and 2 assists, Sorokin with a huge 33-save performance to go hand-in-hand with his shutout in Game 6, and Scott the Monster Mayfield scores a goal and an assist as we win 5-2 to have a big comeback in a roller coaster second round. To take on, it looks like there they are in the right side, the Detroit Red Wings in the Eastern Conference Final. It will be Edmonton and Colorado in the West, Detroit and New York in the East. Wow. Woo, we did it. Even if we lose from this point on, even if we lose, don't get me wrong, I don't want that to happen, but even if we were to lose, I think we can say within the 4 years of our challenge, to say that we at least made it an Eastern Conference Final is better than saying, okay, we missed the playoffs twice and had 2 first-round exits. If we are saying goodbye to Palmieri and Cizikas and Lee and all those guys, let it be in an Eastern Conference Final run or further. All right, so through 2 rounds, Matty Barzal has 15 points in 13 games, Big Bo with 14, Besser with 13. We went from 6-point-per-game plus players down to 3, but still, Laine and Malkin both have 12 and 13, and Yzerman with 5 goals and 11 points. Thank you very much, Cole. Brian Rust, 9 points from him. Rasmus Sandin with 7. Jiricek, 6 points and a +10. Good. Martone with his 4 points. 1 assist in 12 games and a random hat trick in that 8-3 victory through 13 games. Mayfield, 4 points +5. Lee, 3 points. Palmieri with 3, Boldzuk with 3, Letourneau with 3, Pollock 2, Dunn 2. These menus are horrible. Dunn 2 points +6 in 11 games with 12 penalty minutes, and Jacky his 1 goal in 2 games. And the only scoreless player through 13 games is Brock Nelson, the captain, who has nothing with a -1 and 4 penalty minutes, averaging 11:39 of ice time per night. Ilya Sorokin, though, has been a huge breath of fresh air, going 8-4-1 with 2 shutouts, a .926 save percentage, and 2.32 goals against average, moving in to the Eastern Conference Final. Wow, feels crazy to say, but we've made it. Let's advance another day. Let's get ready to face Detroit, and here they are. The 39-33-10 Red Wings. Really, we ended the season with 8 more wins than them. The Red Wings faced the Panthers in round 1, beating them in 6, and then beat the Maple Leafs in 7 in round 2. Wow. Were the Panthers not like one of the top teams in the league as well? Yeah, the second best team in the league, the 52-win Panthers, who finished atop the Eastern Conference, lose in 6 to the Red Wings, who are now facing us in the Eastern Conference Final. Lucas Dostal's their goaltender. You can already see the numbers on him right there, but let's check out the lineup for the Red Wings as we're getting ready to face them with home ice advantage. Let's see, Detroit, here we go. The Red Wings have DeBrincat, Larkin, and Raymond as their first line. Raymond, 10 points in 13 games, Larkin with 8, and DeBrincat with only 2 goals and 5 points, really. Second line, Veleno, Casper, and Patty Kane. He must be blowing up right now. Patty Kane, 9 points, all right. Casper, 7, Veleno with 4. Third line, Brisson, Roger McQueen, and Josh Anderson. Of course, former Islander Josh Anderson. And the fourth line, Dellandrea, Danielson, and Brodzinski. Interesting. All right. And on defense, Simon Edvinsson with Moritz Seider. Seider has 5 assists. Edvinsson a goal and 3 assists. Both are negative players. Axel Sandin Pellikka, 12 assists +4. There's their offense on the blue line. Sandin Pellikka, my goodness. William Welinder has 2 points, even ±. And third pair, Albert Johansson with Tyler Myers. Goaltending, like I had just mentioned, Luke Stossel, 85 overall with a .920 save percentage, 2.73 goals against average, and 1 shutout. 31, 28, and 10 on the season with a 3.17 goals against average and .902 save percentage. Right now he is 8-4-1, backed up by 83 overall, Ville Husso. Scratches, just Caleb Denoyer. So this is their lineup here in Detroit. Wow. No one really stands out that much. Brisson somehow has 11 points in 11 games. Yeah, no one stands out that much offensively. Like, yes, 10 points in 13 games, 11 points in 13 games is nice, but that's only like a couple guys. Axel Sandin Pellikka really stands out. He's their leading point scorer with 12, yes. So if we look at the team matchup on the right side here, we're scoring more at 3.46 versus 3.08. We're also allowing less at 2.31 versus 2.85. Power play, whoa, Detroit's power play at 4.2%, worse than the postseason right now. So we have them there. And their penalty kill, us at 78, them at 73.3. So on paper, just about everywhere, we win these matchups. But I'm not going to take that for granted because we just saw earlier how they beat the Panthers in 6. So you never know what the voodoo world might bring us. Now for our lines, are we looking to change anything else? We made those changes. They won us games 6 and 7. I don't think we're making any. But I'm obviously still not impressed by the fourth line, nor am I really impressed by the bottom 6 at all. Or just 5-on-5 scoring in general, but the top 6 has been better. All right, yeah, I think we're just going to roll into round 3 and see what comes from game 1. Start things off from there. So game 1, round 3, here for the first time since 2020. And if I'm not mistaken, before 2020, the first time the Islanders made it to the conference final was 1993. So 1993, 2020, and 2028. 3 times in the last 35 years. Wow. Just the 3rd time in the last 35 years. Here we are at UBS Arena. Game 1, round 3, year 4, 2028 Eastern Conference Final starts now. First period, and it's 3-1 Isles after 20. DeBrincat opens up the scoring. No, why is Fedotov in? Some sort of early injury taking out Ilya Sorokin. Fedotov called upon. DeBrincat scores just his third goal of the postseason to open up the scoring, but then Horvat, Besser, and Sandin score 3 goals in about 10 minutes to put us up 3-1, being outshot 15-8. Second period now, 3-3. There we go. Kasper scores 2 power play goals on separate power plays, and we're being outshot 26-14 with the score now tied at 3 as Fedotov, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it down. We need to help him out here in the third period. We scored 3 goals in the second. We need to see, or was it the first? Yeah, sorry, in the first, but nothing since. Halfway through the third period, still being outshot, still tied. Power play Red Wings. With that 4% power play, we kill it off, thankfully. We can't always take those for granted. Final 3 minutes here, 2 minutes to go, 90 seconds, and we're off to overtime. Again, as I said, we won't be going into games like these. Shots end 34-24 at the end of regulation. Next player to score puts his team up 1-0 in this Eastern Conference Final. With home ice advantage, let's get the winner. Let's go. Power play opportunity for the OT winner. No! Giving up the power play to the Red Wings. Both killed off. All right. Halfway through this first overtime, power play, Detroit again, 5-on-3. Huge penalty kills, and we take it with the winner. It's Sam Boldzuk, of all the unlikely heroes. The Islanders win in overtime. Shots end 45-29 for the Red Wings, but we come away with the 4-3 overtime victory. Woo! Horvat a goal and an assist. Barzal 2 assists. Kasper scores twice. Let's see some of the stat lines in this one. Oh, -1s from Lee, Yerchek, and Nelson. Brock Nelson, you're killing me, man. Pollock a +3. And let's see, Sorokin makes 8 saves on 8 shots before having to leave after 6.5 minutes. Fedotov ends up playing 66.5 minutes, making 34 saves on 37 shots in relief. Oh my goodness. What a win that was. Now, hopefully, Sorokin's okay. Yes, he is. All right, Sorokin is okay. Whoo, thank goodness. We come away with a nice victory. We took way too many penalties, but we get the win and have a 1-0 series lead with an overtime thriller. Oh, man. Just those 2 power play goals brings up the Red Wings power play to 7.3%. Still at the bottom, but 7.3. Oh, that's our power play sits at 23.3. Yeah, okay. Just looking at the numbers on the side very quickly. Barzal at 17 points. Okay, here we go. Still with home ice advantage for Game 2. Can we take both at home for the first time through this postseason? Yeah, in rounds 1 and round 2, we split the games at home to start off the series. So if we could take both headed to Detroit, that would be lovely. First period, 2-0 Red Wings, of course, after 20. DeBrincat on the power play, and then even strength. 2 goals in, like, what, was it 13 games? And he has 2 goals in the last 2 games against us. 3 goals. Second period, no scoring. Exactly, 3 goals. 2 goals in 13 games, but 3 goals in 2 games against us. Second period, nothing. We're being outshot 20-17 moving into the third period. No goals on Lucas Dostal through the first 40 minutes. As we scored what? Okay, thank you. Evgeny Malkin gets us into it. It's a 1-goal game. Power play opportunity to tie it up now, but Josh Anderson gets his first of the playoffs here, as that power play just expired. But then Cole Eiserman scores. I don't know how that wasn't a shorthanded goal. That happened earlier on. I forgot to look into it. Another in the round 1, I think that happened. So McQueen's 7-on-3 penalty. That brings it to... Oh, because it was 4-on-4 because we had a penalty. Okay, that's why. There you go. So a 4-on-4 goal from Cole Eiserman. 4:39 left to play in this game. Outshooting Detroit 30-29. Let's go down to ×4 speed. And we are down by 1. We need just 1 to tie. We have 2 goals in this period, but we need a third to push this game to overtime. With a minute to go, 30 seconds, 10 seconds! And the Red Wings hang on as we score too little, too late. Outshooting the Red Wings 31-30, but dropping this game by a score of 3-2. DeBrincat scores twice, of course. Dostal 29 saves. And now we have a best of 5 once again, as in all 3 rounds, we split the games at home to take a 1-1 series on the road to Game 3. Why am I not surprised? What we have to do is stop allowing these power plays, as this poverty power play keeps scoring goals. If we allow even 1, and it's anything worse than 1 for 5... 1 for 6, I'll say okay, but 1 for 5 or worse, I'm making penalty kill changes. On the road at Little Caesars Arena, we're hot, we're ready. Game 3, round 3, let's do it. Let's take a 2-1 series lead into Game 4. First period, and it's 1-0 Isles. Evgeny Malkin, let's go. Gino wants it at the age of 41. 1 more ring for Gino, come on. Second period, Gino with another to kick off the second period. First shot of the period, 18 seconds in. Let's get through the second, and it ends 3-0 Brock Besser. I feel like Gino and Besser score a lot together, but all right, shots are 25, 23 through 40. And there's Patty Kane scoring the first that he has gotten in this Eastern Conference Final, make it 3-1. Power plays on both sides, both killed off, very good. 2-goal lead with 13.5 to go. Shots are very even, tied at 30 now, halfway through this third period. Power play Islanders to put it to bed. No, Patty Kane makes it 3-2 as Kane scores twice for the Wings in this third period. It's a 1-goal lead with 2.5 to go. Can we hang on into the final minute? Yes, we can. Shots end 35-33 Detroit, but we take the 3-2 victory on the road at Little Caesars. 2 goals for Patty Kane gives him first star. Sorokin 33 saves, but his fellow countryman Evgeny Malkin scored 2 of his own. Oh, and they help us to get the victory. All right, after a 3-2 loss, we win 3-2 to now have a 2-1 series lead here against the Wings. What's the other series looking like over in the West? Whoa, 3-0 Avs as they're on the brink of sweeping the Oilers and heading to the Stanley Cup Final. Oh, who would have thought that we'd be 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup Final in this postseason run? Come on, boys! Let's keep it rolling. Same thing. Let's take a 3-1 series lead back home, and let's call it on home ice in Game 5. Game 4 at Little Caesars. If you thought we were hot and ready last game, get your napkin ready. Here we go. First period, 0-0. Shots are 14-12 for the Isles through 20. Second period, 0-0 it remains. Shots now, though, 28-22 for the Red Wings as we're being outshot by 6, but the game is still tied at 0. If we can win this period, we take a 3-1 series lead, but if the Wings win this period, we have a 2-2 series and a best-of-3 headed back to Long Island. Here we go. Third period action, and Axel Sandin Pellikka scores his first of the playoffs to open up the scoring, and then followed by a shorthanded goal from Nate Danielson. Hold on, Brock! Brock Nelson still alive? What? He scores his first goal of the playoffs, comes at a great time, but it might be all for naught, and yes, it is. Thanks for nothing, Brock Nelson. At least he scored a goal now. As we get outshot 38-33, and the Wings win it 3-1, the captain, Brock Nelson, scores his first goal in what, like 16 games? Thank you for showing up. We thought you forgot that there was a game today. But we allow, again, shorthanded goal, power play goal. The special teams have been horrible. We allow goals anywhere, anytime. We're allowing power play goals against, shorthanded goals against, left, right, bing, bang, boom. Come on. Power play in for Detroit now at 8.3%. Our opponent kills at 80% still. I don't know. I'm not impressed. I'm really not impressed with anything of our special teams. They did well 2 games ago when I gave them the ultimatum. Last game wasn't as bad, but just special teams in general. Oh, the power play is slowing down a little bit. Rust, 2 goals, 9 assists. I wonder, maybe Rust swapping with... I don't know, because even Martone's been horrible. He has 1 assist, 2 assists in 16 games, minus that 1 random hat trick. There's got to be more to be done. How do these guys have a -2? Come on. I'm going to tell Malkin and Yzerman to wake up and learn the power play. That's what I'm going to do to try and fix it in player conversations. For the penalty kill, I'm not touching the first unit. Second unit, Barzal, Besser, Dunn, Mayfield. I don't know, Dunn just hasn't been himself, maybe? I don't know what to say here. And the third... Nelson, Martone. Nelson almost can't be trusted to even step on the ice. Sandin, Boldzuk. Slim pickings for center options, though. Nelson has the 4-star defense, 87, 81, 89 on those attributes. Malkin, meanwhile, 83, 77, 87. So I'm going to have Sandin and Boldzuk learn the penalty kill, and then Yzerman and Malkin learn the power play through player conversations, and let's hope that that does something. Okay, so everyone agreed except for Malkin. Why would he, right? Hey, we're only trying to win a Stanley Cup here. Could you just adapt, like, one small thing about your game in the special teams? No, I refuse. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just back away here. I'm so sorry to have bothered you, Evgeny. Aside from that, though, so in the power play now, in the second unit, we have a 0 as Yzerman is now adapted. And in the penalty kill for the third unit, it is now a +2. Look at that with these check marks for Sandin and Boldzuk. All right, so maybe that does something. All right, maybe that does something. Aside from that, I don't think I'm going to make any more touch-ups moving into Game 4. With the series tied at 2, the Oilers have some life as they win 1 game, now a 3-1 series for the Avalanche. And here we go, back at home for Game 5 at UBS Arena. It's a whole new series. It's 2 out of 3 with 3 games in this series to go here, 5, 6, and 7, starting now at UBS Arena for Game 5. First period, 0-0. Second period. Oh no, our worst period of the whole playoffs comes now. And just like in round 2, we're going to be down 3-2, losing game 5, and we will need to win games 6 and 7, as Anderson, Edvinsson, Wallinder, and then Veleno coming in for a pulled Sorokin score. 4-0 Red Wings. All right, Porter Martone. Man, how come Nelson scores last game when it doesn't matter? Martone finally scores this game when it doesn't matter. It's a slap in the face from the algorithm of this game, or whatever you want to call it. 7-1 the final. Great. Yeah, that's great. That's really nice. That's really, really nice. Sorokin allows 3 on 15, and then Fedotov allows 4 on 14. Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. Okay, so once again with our backs up against the wall, we'll once again make some changes. We get outscored 10-2 the last 2 games. And it is a must-win Game 6 for a must-win Game 7 if we want to find our way to the Stanley Cup Final. Let's... Let me make some changes. I'll get back in a sec. Okay, here we go. Besser, Horvat, Barzal, Laine, Malkin, Martone, Yzerman, Nelson, Rust, Lee, Letourneau, Palmieri. Defense stays the same with Sandin on the top pair, but on the power play, let's swap Besser and Laine. And on the second unit, let's take out Jiricek and let's put Dunn. His X factor is give it the +3. Doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Whatever. And goaltending, Fedotov will not back up Sorokin. It'll be Merzlikins, and hopefully nobody has to play except for Sorokin, who, despite the sometimes roller coaster results, has a .923 save percentage right now and would give us the best chance, as we have 2 must-win games. So if we don't allow like a wild card 39-win team to make it at the Stanley Cup Final. It's ridiculous. Come on, boys. Games 6 and 7 are before us, just like in round number 2. We got to win on the road and then do it at home, one step at a time. Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final. Let's not have the journey stop just yet. We are 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup Final, something we've been waiting so long to taste. Let's go. At Little Caesars Arena, you're hot, you're ready. Get out on the ice and put that puck in the net. First period, 1-1 after 20. Larkin opens it up, and then Patrick Laine. All right, good, Patrick Laine. Okay, tying it up. Shots 13-11 for the Wings after 20. Second period, 1-1 it remains. I don't like seeing that. We gotta score even strength goals. Outshot by 4, 1-1 game. Red Wings win this period, they're off the Stanley Cup Final. We win this period, we push this to 7 back at home, and anything can happen. Let's go. Dig deep for that last little bit of passion you have in there, boys. Fourth line, I'm looking at you. Come on, the power of friendship has to still have something left. Third period, halfway through, nothing yet. It's Scott Mayfield. The power of friendship cannot be stopped. Scott Mayfield makes it 2-1. One of the veterans with 3 minutes to go. Will it be enough? No, short-handed. Are you kidding me? But then Yzerman wins it with the power play goal. Oh my goodness. What is with the shorthanded goals against? We've given up, I think, like 3 shorthanded goals this postseason. Can it be? But then a power play game-winning goal from Cole Yzerman on that second unit with Vince Dunn as a part of it now. And we push this series to 7. Shots end 36-31, and we win by a score of 3-2 thanks to late power play heroics from the first star, Cole Yzerman, 29 saves from Ilya Sorokin, and a huge goal, plus an assist for Scott Mayfield to get third star honors. As I think you can call Scott Mayfield really the hero of this one. Can't forget Cole Yzerman, but Scott Mayfield is really the hero. At least giving us the opportunity to have heroics, you could say. And just like that, here we are, very familiar territory in this franchise mode series. Year 3, round 1, we go to 7. And now in year 4, round 1, we go to 6. Round 2, we go to 7. Round 3, we go to 7. Boy, oh boy. 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Final. That'll be the first since the Stanley Cup loss back in 1984, which put an end to the 4-peat, which could have been a 5-peat. Yes, so 44 years later, we are 1 win away from returning to the Stanley Cup Final, and all we need to do is break through Lucas Dostal and the 39-win Detroit Red Wings. Is there much else I can say? I don't know. Kyle, you've been waiting so long to see a Stanley Cup final. Anders, Brock, you've been waiting so long. Not to mention guys like Bo Horvat, who, hey, by the way, 33, waiting for his chance too. Matty Barzal, his whole career here on Long Island, now 31 years old. Don't forget that. He's been waiting to see a Stanley Cup final. Brian Rust wants one more. Malkin wants one more. Boldzuk, Mayfield, who's 35, he's been waiting. Ryan Pulock, 33, his whole career here on Long Island. He wants to see that Stanley Cup final, just to at least taste it, see the patch on your jersey, have the pride in your soul. Sorokin, 32. There's a lot of guys here who are older now than you think, with it being the year 2028. Gentlemen, I leave it to you. I can't say much more than that. I leave it to you. If you have the desire to reach the Stanley Cup final, finally, after all the heartbreak and the letdown and the almost close but not close enough, we'll try again next year. Can we finally make it to have a chance at Lord Stanley, one win away from even just having the chance to gaze upon his cup? Game 7, Eastern Conference Final. The stage is yours. First period, 1-0. It's Brock Besser. Thank you, Brock. 1-0, being outshot 15-6. But we lead 1-0 after 20. Thank you, Brock Besser. We brought in scoring. That's what GM data did here. We brought in scoring, and this is the time where it needs to come through. Thank you, Brock. Second period now, 2-1, goal apiece. As Roger McQueen ties it, but then the deadline pickup, or close to the deadline, Brian Rust, he scores his third goal, yes, as he has seen his fair share of success in Pittsburgh, and he needs to bring that here in this Game 7. Thank you, Brian Rust, a veteran getting it done. Shots are 24-16 for the Wings through 40. We're going to go down to ×4 speed, and it's third period action. With a 1-goal lead, the controller is down. Please, gentlemen, let's add to it. We're so close. 1-goal lead with 15 minutes to go. Power play opportunity. Let's go. Killed off or even lost? No. Yes, lost. Power play, Detroit given to them. We kill that off. Thank you. Porter Martone! The sophomore has life. 3-1 Isles is a 2-goal lead. From being down 3-2 in round 2, we did it. Can we do it again in round 3? Power play, Detroit. We give up a late power play for some unknown and disgusting reason, but we kill it off. Ty Dellandre on the fourth line. Makes it a 1-goal game again. Could Martone's goal be enough? With 1:45 to go, with 49 seconds, I'm really scared to hop in. Because I want to see us get that trophy, but I'm really scared to hop in. Hold on. Let me exit back out. Hold on. Let's at ×1 speed. Please, ×1 speed. ×1 speed, please. 15 seconds. Let's hop in. It is not over yet. 14 seconds to go. 14 seconds. Big face-off win. Don't you dare. Come on. What are you doing? Raymond. DeBrincat. Don't let him walk in. Go get a stick on it. Come on. Get it out of there. He's 3 seconds behind the net. Don't let him shoot! Yes! The New York Islanders, for the first time in 44 years, are off to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in many of these long-suffering careers. The New York Islanders are through. For the first time since 1984. The Isles are through to the 2028 Stanley Cup Final in year 4 of the GM data era. Brock Nelson with the C, shaking hands with Dylan Larkin. Liney's on the wrong side, shaking... What? They're on opposite sides. Some of them are back and forth. Brock Nelson getting the Prince of Wales trophy from Big Bill. Thank you, Brock. Shaking hands with Bill Daly for the Prince of Wales trophy. We get outshot 34-27 in this one, but we come away with a 3-2 victory. It's somehow Porter Martone who scores the game winner. Thank you to the sophomore. Coming back from down 3-2 in round 2, and then once again in round 3. Against all odds, we have a date with destiny facing the Colorado Avalanche in the 2028 Stanley Cup Final. I got to get some water, and then we're going to go ahead and recap the stats and look at the Avs lineup. Oh my goodness. Whew, I am rehydrated and ready to go. Let's do it. Through 3 rounds, we no longer have any point per game plus players, but Malkin and Barzal lead the team with 19 in 20. Patrick Laine, 18 points from him through the 20 games. Brock Besser leading the team in goal scoring, 8 goals and 17 points from him. Also 17 points from Horvat and Yzerman. Brian Rust with 12. Sandin, 10 points and a +9. Porter Martone now 5 goals and 7 points, so hopefully a sign of more things to come in the Stanley Cup Final now. Yurchek, 6 points and a team-leading +14 from him. Yes. Mayfield, 6 points and a +4. Both of his goals being big ones. Andersley, 4 points from him. Boldzuk, 4 points. Palmieri, 4 points, -1. Dunn, 3 points +4 in 18 games. Okay. Letourneau with 3 assists and a +3. Pollock, 2 goals. Nelson, 2 points, -2 in 20 games. Jack with that 1 goal in 2 games, of course. And in the goaltending category, 11-7-1 is Ilya Sorokin. The first round, they didn't get a shutout in so far this postseason, but that's all right. Still a .924 save percentage and 2.44 goals against average. Wow. That is how things stand moving into the 2028 Stanley Cup Final, ladies and gentlemen, facing off against the Colorado Avalanche. The Avs swept through the Canucks, swept through the Utah Hockey Club, and then took down the Oilers in 6 games. To now find themselves being, 12-2 at the moment? Yeah, that's not going to be easy. As you can see on the right, and by the way, they are a 56-win team. They went 56-23-3 on the season. Goal scoring, we're 6th, they're 1st. 3.93 for them, 3.10 for us. They are also 1st in goals against at 2.14. We're at 2.6. We don't even have the better power plays. They're at 22.5 and we're at 20%. Pounding kills where we get them, 81.1 versus their 76.9. But still, they beat us everywhere except for the penalty kill percentage. Wow, this is a great team. Great team. We got to give it to them. Was this the President's Trophy winning team? I keep forgetting who finished above the Panthers. No, it was the Oilers. So the Avalanche, as the 3rd place team, beat the Oilers, who were the 1st place team, in 6 games. The Oilers were the first team to make them even just lose a game even. And now here we are having to take them on. Wow. Not going to be an easy matchup, but who said it ever would be? Here we go. Let's check out the lineup for the Avalanche as well. Here in 2028, Colorado, come on. Avalanche, here we go. So the Avs have Lehkonen, Kopp, and Rantanen. Really? This is their center core is between 80 and 84 overall. So no McKinnon in Colorado, but they have Mikko Rantanen. Is he injured? What's going on? Yeah, he's injured. Okay, that's why. We'll check out the date on that injury. I wonder when it even happened. But Mikko Rantanen, now a current Carolina Hurricane, he has 10 goals and 19 points in 14 games. Kopp has 14 points in 14 games, filling in as first-line center, it looks like. And Arturi Lehkonen, 19 points in 14 games as well, 86 overall. Gabe Landeskog, 7 goals, 4 assists. Ross Colton, only 4 assists. Valery Nichushkin, 2 goals, 11 points. Third line, Logan O'Connor, Cal Ritchie, and Nikolai Kovalenko. Fourth line, Olesen, Henrik Lapierre, and Jimmy Vesey. Kovalenko, 7 points there. On defense, it's Devon Tays and Kel Makar. Of course, Makar to 96 overall. 2 goals and 19 points as a +14. So they have 3 players with 19 points in 14 games. We have 2 players with 19 points, but in 20 games. 6 more games played. Devon Tays has 5 points. Second pair, Sam Girard, Data 782 Hall of Fame nominee alongside Mikhail Gulyev. And then Ty Emberson with Travis Boyd, who's a forward. Okay, on the third pair. So they have, also an injury to Kalen Addison. Gotcha. Then Eric Howell is their 13th forward. Goaltending, it's Devin Levi at an 88 overall, .931 save percentage, and 1.99 goals against average, 2 shutouts. On the season, led the league in wins on the season. Yes, that's true, going 48, 18, and 3. 3 shutouts, .914 save percentage, 2.8 goals against average. In the playoffs, 11-2, 2 shutouts. .931 and 1.99 goals against. Wow, backed up by Justus Annunen. Now looking at the injury report for the Avalanche, when did this happen for, sorry, let me go back NHL to Nathan MacKinnon, looking at the Avs. MacKinnon returning June 3rd, pulled groin. I'm not sure when it happened, but McKinnon's back June 3rd and Addison June 5th. So today is the 30th, or the first game is going to be on the 30th. So we should be able to get 2 games without Nathan MacKinnon, unless they put him in as a playable injury, but at least 1 game, if not 2, of a McKinnon-less Colorado Avalanche. I wonder if he's still, let me just double check and know we advanced today. Yeah, he's still out. All right, and what has he done, by the way? MacKinnon, so he's been out for 3 games already. 10 goals and 17 points in 11 games from Nathan MacKinnon. Oh my goodness, wow. Okay, this is not going to be an easy series, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the time, we find ourselves as the on-paper favorite, but then there's voodoo and whatever else. But no, we are most certainly the underdog in this series on paper and according to all the metrics. We are the underdogs, and that's where we like to be. Besser, Horvat, Barzal rolling as our first line. Laine, Malkin, Martone as our second. Yzerman, Nelson, and Russ as our third. Lee, Letourneau, and Palmieri as our fourth. Sandin, Yerchek, Dunn, Pollock, Boldzuk, Mayfield, Sorokin, Merzlikins. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2028 Stanley Cup finalist, New York Islanders squad, ready to roll. No home ice advantage for the first time. No home ice advantage for the first time this postseason, as we are playing at Ball Arena for Game 1 of our first Stanley Cup Final appearance in 44 years. Let's be proud of ourselves, and let's make our fans even more prideful. Let's go. Even more proud, whatever you want to say. My brain's not here at this time of night. The first shot of the Stanley Cup Final, our first shot 44 years later against, goes in. Awesome. Mikko Rantanen scores early. First period, and it's 1-0 after 20. Shots 12-8 for the Isles. Second period, and it's 2-1, goal apiece. Logan O'Connor makes it 2-0, but then Brock Besser gives us some life. I know it's going to be tough. We're playing from behind a lot of this series, but we need to be able to pull out those victories even when they look unlikely. On the road, down by 1 in the third period. We're out shooting Colorado 25-21. Let's not stop now. We're going to break through Levi again. We got one from Besser. We're going to get another. Keep pushing. Power play Islanders. Let's go. That 20% power play does not convert. Power play again. Come on, gentlemen. We've been slow on the power play as of late. Power play Avalanche is killed off. Final 5 minutes, almost 40 shots on net, but Devin Levi is... Hold on, Cole Yzerman ties it at 2. Thank you, Cole. And we push it to overtime. Ooh, shots are 43-33, and we're going to see overtime. I don't want to hop in to see it. It's just too ugly. We can't risk more of our brain cells being gone. It is the Stanley Cup Final. Maybe later on. Let's go. Overtime here in Colorado. Winner, next player to score will win this game for their team and put them up 1-0 in this Stanley Cup Final. Let's go. Halfway through the first overtime period, nothing yet. Power play opportunity to end it on the road. Extended opportunity. No, goes nowhere. Power play Avs killed off. Power play for us? No, it's just killed off. And we're off to double overtime with shots 54-41. Oh, do we hop in for double overtime now? Some of you are screaming yes, some of you are screaming absolutely not. I'm going to say for game 1, we're going to hold off still. It should be ended quick. It should end quickly. It's usually how it goes in double overtime. Here we go. Double OT in Colorado. Let's see it. The Avs win. Oh, Guliev wins it. Oh, so many shots on net. Levi makes 52 saves. Oh, what a great, great opportunity. And we lose 3-2. McKinnon out. We push it to double overtime, but we lose. Oh, man. Levi's a machine. Levi is a machine. I'm going to keep the lines as they are. Let's try to split both games. Games 1 and 2, regardless of who has home ice advantage, have been split in rounds 1, 2, and 3 for us. Let's try and keep that trend in round 4 and split the games on the road to take back a 1-1 series to Long Island. Here we go. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final with hopefully McKinnon still out, and we really are going to need to push for a win as we almost had it in Game 1. First period, and it's 1-1 after 20. Evgeny Malkin scoring that Stanley Cup Final goal. You'd love to see it. Then Jimmy Vesey ties it shortly after. Shots 13-11 for the Avs after 20. Second period, 2-1 Avalanche. Devon Tays. Shots now 25-24 Colorado. We once again find ourselves down by 1. Cole Yzerman tied it late in the third period last game to push it to overtime. Can we have someone tie it here again? Thank you, it's Brock Besser early, 37 seconds into the period. But the third pair D, Ty Emberson, is going to go ahead and make it 3-2. And we need another one now. One step forward, one step back. Here we go. Power play Islanders. Why can we not convert on the power play? 5 minutes to go. We need more late heroics, or will it be another 3-2 loss? Yeah. So we lose 4-2. Dropping both games in Colorado as we head to Long Island. As now Nathan McKinnon's definitely going to be back in the lineup. And we got to make more changes. Horvat, no goals. Barzal, no goals. Come on! Here we go. So Besser is going to stay. Horvat, you had a great season at second line center. You're going back to second line. Barzal, first line with Besser here. Watch me work through the magic here. Okay, Laine is coming up. All scoring on the wings there. Laine, Barzal, Besser. Second line, Malkin, Horvat, Yzerman. Or let's put Yzerman here, actually. Yzerman, Horvat, Malkin, Rust, Nelson, Martone. Nelson, you're killing me, man. Letourneau back up again, maybe. Letourneau, 3 assists plus 2. Rust, Letourneau, Martone, Lee, Nelson, Palmieri. Let's go crazy. I'm bringing in Cizikas just for at least a game just to see what happens. Just to see what happens. Nelson has been that bad. I know he's the captain. I know it's a Stanley Cup Final. But it's... to scratch him in the first Stanley Cup Final game at home, I can't do it. We got to take storyline into account. It's not just franchise mode, it's storyline. The captain being scratched in the first Stanley Cup Final game at home, it can't be. Lee, Nelson, Palmieri, you'll stick it out on the fourth line. Sandin +7, Jiricek +13, Dunn +4, Pollock -2. Let's bring up Mayfield. He's a machine. Let's go Mayfield, Dunn, Bolzuk, Pollock, just to spread the wealth a little bit. And, of course, Sorokin staying as our starter. Here we go. The first Stanley Cup Final game for the Islanders at home since 1984. It's a huge moment in this franchise's history, in the GM data regime era, whatever you want to call it. We got this team to the Stanley Cup Final. Now let's not squander it. Let's not go out in front of the home fans and drop down 3-0 and got to reverse sweep the Avs. That is not what we want to be seeing for our first Stanley Cup Final game in 44 years here on the island. Let's go. First period, 1-1 after 20. Gabe Landeskog opens it up, then Gino Malkin ties it. Shots tied at 12, score tied at 1. Second period, no scoring in the period as we have outshot the Avalanche 24-22. But once again, it all comes down to the third period, and it could go either way. Game 1 and Game 2 really were the same thing. Despite being down by 1, it was the exact same thing. Could go either way. Third period, Gino scored 1. Let's see who's got the second. It's Cole Yzerman. I was about to call his name as well. Cole Yzerman moved into that top 6, and Brock Besser, thank you, makes it 3-1. Let's go. Power play Isles. Let's put it to bed. Killed off by the Avalanche. Halfway through the third, they still have life. 6 minutes ago, power play for us once more. Still killed off. Okay, I'm fixing the power play. No matter what, I'm fixing the power play now. As ladies and gentlemen, at least we can say we're not going to get swept, and we have won a Stanley Cup Final game in New York for the first time in 44 years. We've done. I don't even know if they won any home games back in '84, but we've done it. We've won a Stanley Cup Final game. Shots end 37-31 as we win this one by a score of 3-1. Goal and an assist from Yzerman, 30 saves from Sorokin, a goal and an assist from Gino. And not only we're going to say, hey, we won a game. No, we're back in this series. Down 2-1. Let's win this one at home as well. Let's make it a 2-2 series. And let's call ourselves contenders. Come on, gentlemen. Now, what we got to do first is change up the power plays. We have not scored a power play goal in a little while now. So we'll keep the 5-on-5 lines like that. But for the power play, let me think. Let's try this. Horvat back to center. Besser to finisher with his 11 goals so far this postseason. Barzal back over here as the distributor. Then on the second unit, we're going to say Yzerman back to him being the finisher now that he's at 9 goals. Rust over here. And Dunn the distributor. Yes, let's try that. All right, just a little bit of something because we know that these pieces can get it done. Just a little bit of something to try and mix it up and jumpstart these special teams. The 5-on-5 lines will stay the same, and we go back to business here at UBS Arena for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. We win Game 3 in a dramatic 3-1 affair. Now we want to tie the series up at 2, make it a best of 3, and anything can happen headed back to Colorado. Go down 3-1, and you have to win 3 in a row now. You finally got your win. Nelson, Palmieri, Lee, Mayfield, even Horvat, Sorokin. You got your Stanley Cup Final win. 1 down, 3 to go. Let's do it. Game 4 in New York for the Stanley Cup Final. First period, 0-0 after 20 shots, 14-8 for the Isles. We're showing up. Second period, 2-1 New York. Besser and Laine make it 2-0 before Lehkonen gets one back for the Avalanche headed into the intermission. Shots 29-17 for the Isles as we hold a 1-goal lead. Game 1 and 2, we go into the third down by 1 and almost get it. Game 3, we go into the third tied tied and we win. Game 4, we go into the third with a 1-goal lead and close to double the shots even. Can we hang on? I don't want to bet on that. We need to add to it. Besser, Laine, thank you. Big Bo, this is your time. I'm looking at Big Bo. Kovalenko ties it early. Power play with those changed up units, killed off by the Avalanche. Kovalenko ties it a minute and 4 seconds in, of course. There goes all the speeches for what? Third period tie. This is huge. So either tie the series here and check makes it 3-2 and Yzerman makes it 4. Up by 2 with final 5 minutes now to play at with home ice advantage. Power play Avs killed off and the New York Islanders have tied this series up at 2. Losing both games on the road and then winning both games at home. David Jiricek, the man we got for Noah Dobson, who could never have done that, gets the game-winning goal as we outshoot the Avalanche 38-31 and win this game 4 by a score of 4-2. Besser and Laine a goal and an assist apiece. Sorokin 29 saves. And from down 2-0, the narrative, boom, has just changed like that. And we are tied up at 2 with this Stanley Cup Final now being a best 2 out of 3. Headed to Game 5 at Ball Arena. Give me a second to catch my breath. Ooh, boy. June 7th, 2028. It all comes down to these last 3 games. We're on a roll. After losing 2, we win 2. Now we're headed back to Colorado where we lost games 1 and 2. Will the Avs have some home ice advantage to work for them, or do we have them up against the ropes? I don't think there's anything to change here. May as well just hit sim game for Game 5. The winner of this game will be 1 win away with an opportunity to end it on Long Island for Game 6. We want to be that team. Kyle, Anders, Brock, let's do it, gentlemen. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final with this series tied at 2. We are feeling a hop in our step that we haven't yet this postseason. Let's go. First period, 3-1 Avalanche early. All right. Kopp, Nichushkin, and then McKinnon. Of course, we were bound to see that happen eventually. 3 goals in the first less than 12 minutes. Jiricek, what a machine, gets one back quick 17 seconds after McKinnon. Being outshot 11-10, we're down by 2. Down by 2. It's not done yet. Let's see a big second period, but there's no scoring on either side. As we now lead in shots 24-17. Nice. But we're still down by 2 here in the third. Down by 2 in the third. I don't want to have to win games 6 and 7 like in round 2 and 3 again. If we have to, then we will. But I don't want to have to. Come on. Let's go, boys. 1 goal in 40 minutes. We know we can get more past Levi. He's been strong, but we know how to beat him. Keep getting those shots on net. Keep believing in yourselves. And then keep giving up 5-on-3 power plays. We kill it off. That's nice. Power play for us now. Thank you, Big Bo. Where have you been? We're down by 1 with 5 to go. Come on. Ah, squandered. Squandered. For what? Big Bo gets a power play goal to get us within 1. Then McKinnon, 3 minutes later, restores the 2-goal lead, and Kopp adds an empty netter as we outshoot the Avalanche 32-30, but lose 5-2. Oh my goodness. And just like round 2 and round 3, we now find ourselves needing to win Game 6 to have a chance in Game 7. As we head back to Long Island on home ice for Game 6 for the first time, though. That's the difference this time. Are there changes? I've made so many little different changes, I don't think there's anything to do this time. I don't think there's anything to do this time. This is our team. These are our fans. And this is the situation that we find ourselves in. This is it. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. We've won back-to-back before. We need to do it again. +7, +13, +6, +7, -2, -4. Come on! What's going on defense over here? I'd almost put in Jack-Eye, but I can't afford to give the Avalanche more power plays. This is the team. This is the team. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of this team. We made it a lot further than anyone thought that this... the core has changed, but we made it a lot further than many thought a team with these players could go. A lot of people thought a team couldn't win with Lee, Nelson, Palmieri, Boldzuk, Mayfield, possibly even Horvat, Barzal. They're part of the old core that needs to be cut away, Sorokin. A lot of people thought you can't win with a team like that. We've proven them wrong to get to Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. But let's not have the journey stop here. There's so much to be proud of if this is the end of the road. But I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be. Game 6. Win or go home. That's all it is when it comes to this point in the season. Win, and we'll see you in 7 for an anything can happen matchup against the Avalanche. In Colorado, I should say. Or lose, and the Avs celebrate a Stanley Cup on our home ice. Game 6 of the 2028 Stanley Cup Final goes now. Times 8, controller down. Let's go, gentlemen. Power play early. Thank you, Gino Malkin. Another power play. Come on, I'd love to see 2. Oh, yes! Line it with another! All right, then Rantanen, hold on, says, calm down. They score on their 3rd shot. We were quadrupling 12-3. Okay, the home ice is working for us as Malkin, Line, and then Line again score 3 goals over the span of 3 minutes and 4 seconds. We will take a 3-1 lead into the second period with shots being 15-7 in our favor. 2-goal lead with Line scoring twice. Power play, Avalanche 5-on-3 again. What's with the penalty? We kill it all off. Thank you, Brian Rustin, penalty kill. No! Makar power play goal. How many penalties do you have to take? No! Makar again! Oh my goodness! Now Rantanen a 3rd in this period. A 4th! No! From 3-1, you're gonna blow it! A 3-1 lead. We allow 4 unanswered. Are you serious? Who's taking all the penalties? Sandin hooking, Dunn elbowing, Letourneau high sticking. Letourneau, I don't know if you're gonna be 3rd line center next year, man. 5 goals on 22 shots as Sorokin falls apart, does everything for us, then allows 4 goals in 7 minutes and on a total of 22 shots in this game. Power play to start the period. We're down by 2. It's not done yet. If there's ever been any little bit of passion left, I know I've called for it before, this is the time that we need to see it. Shots 26-22 for the Isles. Power play to start the period down by 2. Times 4 speed. Here we go. Get out there in front of the home fans and show them that we can still do this. Down by 2. Power play goes nowhere to start the period. From up 3-1, we allow 4 unanswered. Another power play for the Avalanche. I know there's lots, like I said, there's lots to be proud of, but we're making trades if it's going to be that we squander because of penalties. Halfway through this 3rd period, controller back up might need to... Oh! 5 minutes to go, down by 3, and that'll be it. That'll be it. From up 3-1, Lee, Nelson, and Jiricek. Thanks, the veterans. Thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up. The 4th line gets 2 minor penalties. And we're down 6-3 with 5 minutes to go. I'll hop in just to hop in. To see the ice and the Stanley Cup Final patches and all that. Actually, if you want to get a closer look at it on the jerseys right there on Matty Barzal, for example. But that's it. Down by 3 with 5 to go. I very highly doubt anything's going to work our way as we give up, 3-4 power play goals. And squander a 3-1 lead, allowing 5 unanswered. We gave the veterans their Stanley Cup Final. They didn't run with it. Now it's time to change the core a little bit. Let's see some major changes into year 5. Let's see some major changes for the bottom 6 and all that in year 5. Out will be, so it will be probably Malkin, Rust, Lee, Nelson, Palmieri all out. That's 5 players. 5 out of 12 forwards out. Yeah, we can make some big changes there. We gave them their Stanley Cup Final. We gave them their chance to do it, and they didn't do it. We can't blame ourselves. AKA the management team, I mean. There you go. Let's turn up the shooting sliders. And you know what? I'm also going to turn up the blocking. And you know what? Even the energy. Full energy, full block, and full carry. That's what we're doing for all 4 lines. With 5:08 to go in the 3rd, we'll definitely pull the goalie soon. So either we're going to be down 7-3 very quickly, or we'll have a chance maybe get back in the 6-4. I don't know. I just can't believe we were up 3-1. Can't believe that part of it. Here we go. Plug the goalie. Let's do it with 4.5 to go. Bo on net. At least there's a shot. I'd like to see that. And we'll just keep backing up until they score. No. Okay, rare. No. Makar, keep backing up until he shoots, and there you go. Not even gonna go watch the ceremony, nothing. Let's just not have to be embarrassed on home ice. As the Colorado Avalanche wins 7-3 in Game 6, winning them the 2028 Stanley Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, thus concludes year number 4 as your New York Islanders go on a run to Game 6, as far as Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final, but sadly cannot win it all. We will be back here, but it won't be with a lot of these faces, as at least 5 of our forwards are gone next season. Feels a bit anticlimactic because usually we watch the Stanley Cup celebration, but I wasn't going to sit there for another 4.5 minutes just to watch that, to see them raise the cup on our home ice. So we gave our fans a lot to be excited about. We did right by our veterans, but now it's time to move on. So I'm going to sim to the draft. I'm going to fix up the last little elements of scouting. We can wait for off-season focus. We can talk about that in suggestions and get that done in the next episode. We'll talk a little bit about the draft class, about any contract extensions, and then we'll call it a season and get ready for year number 5. Where I'm very excited for what we can do because I think we're still a very strong team. But the bottom 6 will see an overhaul, and the veterans, those things are going to be changing quite heavily. I would think. All right, so we'll see you at the draft. Yeah, so Stanley Cup champions, Colorado Avalanche. Calder Cup went to the San Jose Barracuda. We lost in round 1 to Springfield, so not a big deal there. May as well take a second just to pause and look at the awards. Actually, I never even looked at the total point totals either, so may as well pause to look at that as well. Through 26 games, vintage Gino at the age of 41. 26 in 26 from Evgeny Malkin. Take a bow, my friend. Matty Barzal, also 26 and 26. Patrick Laine, surprising 10 goals and 25 points in 26 games from him. Well done. Brock Besser led the team in goal scoring, 12 goals and 24 points in 26 games from Brock. Cole Eiserman, 10 goals and 22 points. So 10 from Cole, 10 from Patrick, and 12 from Brock for the goal scoring. Bo, top 50. Horvat, 21 points and a +5 in 26 games from Big Bo. Brian Rust didn't do too much in that. Well, he scored 1 point in the Stanley Cup Final in those 6 games. 13 points and -4 through 26 games in total. Sandin, 12 points and a +8. Yurchek, 8 points and a +14. Martone, 7 points, 6 points and a +5 from Mayfield. Dunn, 5 points, +4. That was probably the biggest letdown of anybody. 70 points on the year in 82 games. 5 in 24 with a +4. Lee, 4 points, -5 to say goodbye. Bolzuk, 4 points, -5. That was a surprise. Nelson, 3 points, -7 to say goodbye. Pollock, 2 points, -7 to say we're not sure. Jack-Eye, 2 games, 1 goal. Ilya Sorokin, I think he earned his way to at least the ability to stay around a little while longer. 13, 10, and 2 with 2 shutouts, a .920 save percentage, and 2.57 goals against average. I would think there's no problem with keeping him around, but we need a new backup as both Merzlikins and Fedotov will walk, in my opinion. And there you go. Let's check out the awards now for the year that was. I don't think we have anything to really be too interested in, as the Avalanche win the 2020 Stanley Cup. President's Trophy to the Oilers. We do get the Prince of Wales Trophy, which is nice to see our names on. At least there's that. Draisaitl, Art Ross, and Hart. James Norris to Evan Bouchard. Lady Byng to Sam Reinhart. Calder to Valentini over on the Flames. Conn Smythe to Mikko Rantanen. Vezina to Devin Levi. Jennings to Kochetkov and Freddie Anderson. Masterton to J.J. Moser. Jack Adams to the coach of the Flames. Selke to Rob Thomas in back-to-back years, and for the 3rd time in 4 years. Ted Lindsay to Draisaitl, 2nd time in 3 years. And Maurice Richard to Connor Bedard for the 1st time in his career. Very exciting. I'll go ahead and keep simming towards the draft now, so we want to see, especially on if there's going to be any retirements. I wonder. Forget about letting people walk. Some might just be retiring straight up. The Blues jumped from 7 to 1, the Senators from 8 to 2, and the Penguins dropped from 1 to 3 in the draft lottery. Whew. Central Scouting, thank you. Player retirement. Here we go. And I'm not seeing anybody. Sidney Crosby retires at the age of 40, 1,919 points for Sid, 713 goals, and he retires at an 84 overall in Anaheim. We had him in our Ducks franchise in NHL 20, so that's fun to see. Stamkos in Nashville, 1,452 points. Kopitar, Panarin, Ben, Wheeler, Perron, Yossi, Pacioretty. You're telling me no Islanders? Just Cizikas. Yeah, Casey Cizikas is the first member to retire 323 points in his 1,060 NHL game career, a fourth-round pick back in 2009. He spent his entire career here with the Islanders, and we thank him for everything. Casey, you're a legend. We'll put you into the Ring of Honor. We'll put your name on a plaque somewhere. Thank you for the memories. Casey Cizikas calling it a career. And then if we look at the goaltenders, any big goalie names retiring, Talbot, Kemper, Campbell, etc. All right, so they're the retirements. We still and by the way, Crosby, Ben, and Kopitar all now coaches. And for any coach retirements, no, we're good to go. Yeah, Lee, Nelson, they're all sticking around for another season of their career, but I don't know if it's going to be with us. That's the hard part. I don't know if it's going to be with us. So now here we are at the draft. Let's start thinking about what we want to do to wrap this season up. And even if Evgeny Malkin's still here, but I don't know if the money would necessarily be able to keep him. Let's check it out. So looking at the contract situation first and foremost, the expiring players on the team. So if we look at the the extension dollars that we have 14.27 million. Evgeny Malkin's looking at 8.725, so that's not going to be happening. I don't think we're going to be able to keep Evgeny Malkin, who currently would be wanting more than half of that cap space. So 14.27 million. If we allow Malkin to walk, if we allow all these guys to walk, we can, we could be players in free agency. Brock Nelson will be looking at 2.2 to stay on. Do we keep Brock Nelson as like fourth line center? I don't know. He was really not good in the playoffs at all. Brian Rust down to an 82 overall, wants 2.85. Could we keep him, or is that just another aging player we don't need with top 9 potential? Like Evgeny Malkin, for example, with top 9 potential at 87 overall. By the time the season starts, he's going to be like an 84 or lower. So we're going to pay him 8 point whatever million for what? Come on. Anders Lee is an 81 overall still, and he'd be looking at 1.775 for 2 years. 1 year, 1.825. Thompson, I don't think that's going to happen. Cal Palmieri up back to a 79 overall. I don't think we have to let them all go, but I don't see a world where we're keeping Nelson and Lee and Palmieri, and then even Rust or Malkin, whoever else. Belchetz will be joining the lineup now. So Ethan Belchetz, who we drafted 8th overall, yes, in 2026, he'll be joining the NHL. 50 goals in the OHL last season and 92 points. So he'll be joining most likely the third line, you would think. Alexiev, Thompson are going to walk. Gutsi going to walk. These guys, yeah, mostly all walking, aside from our expiring, our unsigned drafted players who will all give contracts. We'll give contracts to all those guys with low elite, medium elite, etc. Goaltenders, if we look at these guys now. So Sorokin's signed on. Merzlikins, I don't think we're going to even be considering him. And I don't know, he wants 800K, but I'd rather just find some 81 or 82 in free agency and do the same thing. Same for Fedotov. Lennox, I think we'll let walk because Ivankovic, or Ivankovic as they say, will be our AHL starter and hopefully our NHL backup within 2 years, and perhaps even pushing out Sorokin as the starter within maybe 3 seasons or so. So we have the money to sign these guys, but I think I'd rather be players in free agency. And in free agency, if we look at the potential pending free agents that we could sign on July 1st or even trade for the rights of at the draft, looking at just UFAs, Austin Matthews, Brady Tkachuk, if we sort by overall, Jeff Skinner, Byram, actually, let's look at forwards first. So, Matthews, Tkachuk, Skinner, Hoglander, Farabee, Kershev, Kakko, Bunting, Marchenko, Malkin, Barbashev, O'Reilly, Tavares, Comfer, Krebs, Marchman, Pelletier, Drouin, Kovalenko, Geeky, Bertuzzi, all for the 86 overall and up crowd. For anybody else, feel free to take a look as I scroll through the rest of the available players. That's for the forwards. And then over on defense, Bo Byram could be there in 88. Letang at 41 years of age, I wonder. Dursey, Nikishin, Shabbat, Provorov, Siegenthaler, Brandstrom, Kesserling, Lowry, Whitecloud, DeMello, Alexiak, Perbix, blah, blah, blah. And for potential goalies might be there, Bobrovsky, Jarry, Anderson, Wall, Urson, Lindgren, Merzlikins, and so on. All right, so those are the pending free agents. If we look now at what should be next, I suppose the draft board, to consider the draft class. We have our first, which is 31, our second, our third, Edmonton's fourth, so all late picks from the first to the fifth round, and then an early sixth from the Kings. So second to last first, second to last second, etc. And looking at the draft class, medium franchise player going first overall. Whew. Anything else of interest here? A lot of top 6 forwards, top 4D. Low elite at 26, Alvin Goddard. NHL ready, interesting. Those guys can sometimes be a trap though. Gem low elite at 26. Actually, the same thing, another low elite gem, but at 31, and an offensive defenseman who's 2 years away. I might be more inclined to take someone who's 2 years away as opposed to NHL ready and never going to be moving beyond whatever 78 overall. So Bates is very interesting to me as someone who's especially 2 years away. After that, low elite Canzanello. Who's this? Christopher Canzanello, 3 years away. Right winger. A bunch of medium top six forwards, gems, low elite Nazarov. Andre Nazarov. Okay. Another low. There's a good number of low elites here. Len Nolan, playmaker. Another low elite here. Medium elite, actually. Sorry, goalie. Sebastian Peterman. Goalie 5 years away. Medium elite potential. Okay. So that's sorting by the rank. If we sort by potential, we see what other medium elites. Okay, so there could be, there's this guy, Ulf Engqvist, defensive defenseman, 4 years away at the age of 19. We can try and target him. Low elites going late. Yeah, there's a lot of low elites in this draft class. Look at these guys, 190, 169. All right, medium top six forwards. A lot of them all the way down to 109, and then low top six forwards. A lot of them as well. Yeah, it's a pretty strong class, 281, 272. We could use some sevens to get some of these low top six forwards. I don't want to cheese it too bad where we're just drafting like 20 different high potential prospects, but we want to make sure that our picks work for us. For the goalies, there's one medium elite and that's it. So I don't know if we want to target a goalie, but if we do, it would be Sebastian Peterman, the German. All right, there we go. So that's the draft class. There's the draft board. Now, I suppose we'd want to go look at the progress reports. Very excited to see that. Landon Dupont and everything. All right. So looking at, sorting by modifications, I suppose. Malkin down a lot, but still he's boosted by some other stuff, so he's at an 87 at the moment. Palmieri at a 79. Bo Horvat sitting at a 91 right now, after his season. Vince Dunn at a 90. Russ down to an 82, we know that. Line 87. Pulick down to an 85 now. He's getting older. Martone 87, so his boost to an 88 was just for the moment. He's really actually at an 87. That's good. Yzerman down from 89 to 86. What? How? Stroke and Yurchek 90s. Like, don't got to worry about those too much because they won't stick, but just what's the rationale behind it? But Horvat at a 91 is crazy. Could he be just first-line center next year? We move Barzal back to the wing? I wonder. In the system, let's see, sorting by modifications, Dupont up to a 78 overall. In the end, he scored 71 points in 72 games in the WHL, so he will definitely be in the NHL next season. Who's out on defense to allow Dupont to be there? Is it Mayfield? Is it Boldzuk? Is it one of them just becoming a 7th D? I don't know, but Dupont is in and Belchetz are in for sure. Hakana's up to a 65 with his medium elite potential. Simpson up to a 61 with medium elite potential. Pricing is at 76 overall, low elite, as he was just in the AHL this past season. Good. Nurmi with his medium top 9 is a 77. Okay. Carpano, Justin Carpano up to a 74. He played in the AHL. Aitchison also at a 74. Good. Okay, yeah. And Ivankovic, yeah, 73, but he should be getting some more growth over the offseason, you would think. So moving into next episode, I'll be needing to hear a lot from the AGMs on the offseason plan for the contracts, players we already have, players we can target, trades, draft target in terms of prospects, the offseason focus, what's the lineup looking like, who stays, who goes, what position, maybe not a player, but what position are we targeting if we leave open spots. Remember that Belchetz is going to be likely third line left wing, and we'll have Dupont likely third pair right D, plus I would think first unit power play. Off-season focuses, who needs to focus on what kind of conversations are we having, whose player rights are we trading. A lot to consider through our 4 seasons as we're moving into our 5th year. Being able to say that, yes, we've finally made it to a Stanley Cup Final after 44 years, but we want that Stanley Cup title. It's not too late for Horvat and for Barzal and for the guys we brought in Line A and Besser, etc. It's not too late for them. We gave the core, the older guys, a chance. I don't think we can give them all a chance again. We gave them a chance. They couldn't finish it this year. We faced such a strong team in the Avalanche. I could talk in circles about it for a long time, but I'll leave it there. I'll allow you all to discuss it down in the comments down here on YouTube or over on the Discord server, linked in the description. Remember to leave a like if you haven't already. Hope that you enjoyed the postseason run. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already to be made aware of all of our uploads here in the channel. Hit the bell to be notified when there's breaking news in the real world of hockey, like the Rantanen trade the other day, as well as when we're going live for all of our various franchise mode series. And speaking of franchise mode, if you haven't checked it out already, check out the Hockey Legacy Manager 25 guide that I put out the other day. Available on Android, Steam, iOS. It's a great game. It's free. The pro version, if you want it, isn't too expensive at all, but it's free, the base version. I really encourage you to check it out. I put out a huge guide for how to play it and how to navigate it if it seems a little bit overwhelming. That's all there for all of you. All right, so I'll end it off there. Thanks for watching. An exciting, very, very exciting comebacks and roller coasters and storylines, who's up, who's down postseason. I hope that you enjoyed, so let me know what your favorite part of it was down in the comments, and I look forward to reading all of your thoughts and seeing you once again in the next one as we try to march our way back to that point, just 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup. Let's do it in 2028-29. Year number 5 is coming, and I'm excited for what our plan is going to be.